20 of 30 for 286 and the touchdown by Keenan.
Yeah, and listen, man, and like I say, Caleb has never disappointed me. He's a tough guy. He stays in there, and he takes a lot of hits. He's, took his 60th sack today, and then you got to think of how many times he's been hit outside of the sacks themselves. And Caleb, J-Mac mentioned in his last sideline report, he comes back to the sidelines looking like he's been in a football game, but it doesn't lack encouragement for his teammates. And so I do think that when you imagine this offense, this football team moving forward, Caleb has got such an enormous role in what you need their success to be. We've been lucky enough to see it under some difficult circumstances.
And so the Bears fall for the 9th consecutive time. On a day, Caleb Williams extends his interception-free streak, and now is 209 passes at Soldier Field without an interception this season. I know we keep talking about it, but it's somewhat remarkable by a rookie.
Well, we're analytically struck because of Coletti. And, when you think about the numbers, and not only with the Chicago Bears, around the rest of the landscape of the NFL and the quarterback position, you come to a certain number and then you expect there's got to be, you're coming into the realm of the possibility of an interception, and Caleb has been able to surpass and exceed that number. So I'm pulling for him to end the season on a high note and, just leave a good taste in the mouth of his offensive teammates, knowing that this is the guy that's going to lead the way going forward.
They spotted the Lions a 20-0 lead, and then the Bears outscored the Lions the rest of the way, 17-14. But they don't win games that way in the NFL.
No.
But they did continue to go at it, and Caleb Williams was instrumental in trying to do so. All right, that's going to wrap up our portion. We'll be back shortly with Thomas Brown, the Bears head coach. But for now, let's hand it off to our tag team partners and our post-game coverage. We've got Peggy Kaczynski and Yurko. Take it away, guys.
JJ and Tom, thank you very much. Have a wonderful holiday if we do not see you. Well, it was not such a sweet homecoming for the Bears as they returned back to Soldier Field, losing to the Lions 34-17. And Yurko, once again, another slow start. They got behind the 8 ball, nothing that they could catch up to.
Yeah, a little too far behind. That's where they find themselves here lately. They don't really have hot starts in the first quarter. They haven't all year. And, I didn't know what anybody expected with the 12-2 team coming in to play a 4-10 team. I don't know what the expectations are, whether they're going to muster an effort or not. You're going to have to clean everything out. This is just a losing football team. That's what they've proven over the course of time, that they're a losing football team, a very fragile football team. Lock, stock, and barrel. On January 6th, everybody will be given their pink sheets, their pink slips, and they'll be so told to go home. Go home. Coaching staff, thank you for nothing. Go home. The players, whoever's under contract, still be here. And then we'll see what Ryan Poles and McCaskey and Kevin Warren want to do about this football team. It's just bad. It's not so much it's a bad football team. It was a team that was broken by one Hail Mary pass against the Washington Redskins. So not that they were bad individually or bad as a team. They're just a very fragile team with their psyche, with their they let small things bother them. Good teams don't let small things bother them. That was a big play at the end of the game, and all of a sudden everybody started pointing fingers. And if you can't trust the guys that are next to you, you're not going to trust each other on Sunday when you got to put 3 hours of effort. And that's what ended up derailing, ultimately, the Chicago Bears. I don't know anybody that had the Bears winning today. Nobody expected the Bears to win. And they ended up losing by, 17 points? That's right. About right. It's about right. Happy to see Caleb Williams have some success, find some receivers, finally hit that ball down the right sideline that he seemed to miss every play this year. It was good to see. But then came crunch time in the fourth quarter, where you had to go put it together, and then we saw that dancing and that repetition and the feed again, chop, 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 chop. So there's going to be more growing. There's going to be more learning. There's going to be a full offseason, hopefully in a program with an offensive coordinator that he's going to respect, he's going to like, and he's going to have some chops in the NFL because this year's just not been good enough. Not been good enough for the Chicago Bears as a team. Not individual positions. There's plenty of time to go ahead and do that. We'll dissect the individual positions, who can, who can't, who won't, who will, that type of thing. But, Just another Sunday on the lakefront. Bears get demolished early. Really no hope for anybody all day, right? No hope for anybody. Anybody still in the fantasy playoffs? Maybe looking at Keenan Allen, who might have had himself a day. If you had him on your squad, probably benched him because he really hasn't done crap for you all year. Well, he had himself a day if you were forced to put him in because of injury or other such notions that are out there. So, good for Keenan Allen. Had himself a little bit of a ball game today. Otherwise, Zach Pickens had a sack. There's a little bright spot. Zach Pickens decided he was going to play. Second year, third from the last game. He mustered up a little bit of an effort and had himself a sack. I thought Stevenson played well today. I thought Stevenson was interested in playing today. So good for Tyreek. At least he was there.
It's because he had Jamison Williams to jaw with.
Yeah, motivate him.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe motivate him. They did a little, had some tomfoolery on the sideline early in the game. I think that was kind of nice because it settled the both of them down, and then they just went about the business of playing football. So, yeah. Guys got caught up. Detroit had that nice little play where they had the quarterback look like he was tripping. They had the running back fall to the ground. They picked it up, and they threw the ball to Laporta in the second half. I thought that's a cute little play that they ran. Otherwise, the Bears are playing out the string, and they'll have moving trucks there available on January 6th for anybody that needs to move their equipment out of there. That's where we're at with the Chicago Bears, guys.
Playing against a Detroit team that was depleted since the beginning of the year. 21 players on IR. They've lost 6 defensive starters since opening day to IR. They lost David Montgomery after last week's game as well. So you knew that the Bears were going to be able to put up some inflated offensive numbers against a very depleted defense from Detroit. But in the end, Detroit's offense, just too explosive for the Bears' defense.
Yeah, just too big. Was it first 4 possessions they went down,
first
put
5
points on the board? Yeah.
First 5, and then the 6th one was the final 65-yard field goal attempt.
Yeah, great attempt, by
half.
the way. Good attempt by the young man. And we saw our guys were back there just in case. We've had a couple 108-yard touchdowns.
Josh Blackwell wanted to be a little Nate Vasher there.
That's exactly a little Nate Vasher. Perfect.
Yeah.
Nate Vasher. We also had a Devin Hester one from 108 yards deep, which is always fun.
But we did not have that today. And the Bears instead has suffered their 9th straight loss. They are now 4-11 on the season.
Yes, they are.
4-4 at home, still looking for their first division win. Let's take a break. When we come back, we will head back to Soldier Field. We will hear from interim head coach as well as QB1. We will also open up the phone lines and take your phone calls, 312-332-3776. This is the Post-Game Show on the Chicago Bears Radio Network.
What would you do with $1 million? Hard Rock Casino Northern Indiana wants to give you the chance to find out in our $1 million giveaway. Earn July 1st through December 27th. Then join us each Friday for your chance to win a grand finale spot for a 1 in 500 chance to be the guaranteed winner of $1 million. The $1 million giveaway. Exclusively at Hard Rock Casino Northern Indiana. Must be 21. See Players Club for complete details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
Chicagoland, your #1 team for luxury is Bill Jacobs Auto Group. We're leading the league with top new car volume for BMW, Land Rover, Mini, and Volkswagen. Discover an experience that matches our winning lineup. Drive home in style and comfort today. At Bill Jacobs, the cars bring you in, the experience brings you back. Year-to-date new car volume for BMW, Land Rover, Mini, and Volkswagen.
Peggy and Yurko, post-game on ESPN Chicago.
We head back to the lakefront where Jeff and Tom are standing by with interim head coach Thomas Brown.
Hey, Thomas, as we get set to take a look at this, give us just an overview on what you saw today overall. Obviously, the 20-0 spot didn't put you in the best position, but you guys outscored them the rest of the way.
Yeah, I mean, I think it starts first with turnovers. You can't turn the ball over twice in the first half and expect to stay in games for a very good team in general. And then penalties. I think shooting ourselves in the foot. I think we moved the ball pretty effectively. We still missed a ton of opportunities on the grass to create some explosive plays and didn't get it done.
What did you think of Caleb Williams today?
I thought it was pretty consistent. Again, I think it's an operation standpoint. I can help out with a couple of things. We can move a little bit faster. He did make some plays. He continued to keep battling. I think the entire team, I just told those guys in the locker room, despite Some of those issues that showed up, continue to battle and fight. There's no quit in them. We still got to be better, way better.
Thomas, the fourth down calls, do you have them on your play sheet? You know what you want to call, or is it kind of not flying by the seat of your pants with a lack of a better term, but making those fourth down calls and get the production out of them? Are those plays you practice?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think it's also a mix of both. I have some predetermined fourth down calls I have, and I think depending on the flow of the game, how the game goes, I may make some adjustments, but you felt good about them. I kind of give the QB a heads up about being in two-down territory so we can kind of protect the ball and be safe with it. And then when fourth down comes, let it roll.
You know, the production out of your wide receivers is pretty solid. I know, when you got veterans like DJ Moore and Keenan Allen out there, but, having the contributions from Rome Odunze, it's got to be super encouraging, not only how your young quarterback's fitting in, but how your rookie receiver is complementing the veterans on your team.
Yeah, I think you said it best. I mean, obviously leaving those two lead dogs, DJ, obviously Keenan had a big day as well, made some critical catches. Obviously Rome was very timely as well. Had the big fourth down box fade. It was a really good ball by Caleb, but also a good release by Rome. But I think those guys continue to find a way to progress and be involved week in and week out, and we're able to kind of get Cole involved as well on the goal line for a touchdown. When
you think of 20 catches by your wide receivers for 286 yards and a touchdown, when you go into a game plan, is there a limited amount of throws you would like your quarterback to make, or is it just decided by the flow of the game?
I think it's a mix of both. I mean, we'd love to stay more balanced. Obviously, you mentioned before, going in the hole 20 down, nothing, kind of does change the rhythm in the game, trying to get back involved in it. Obviously, the 2-minute drive was kind of critical as well to kind of get some points there. But I think being able to be more effective in a run game is what you ideally want to get to and be more balanced early on. But also, I think 25 throws would be ideal. But whatever it takes to win football games, I'll compete.
When you go into the locker room after yet another loss and the losses, what do you say at this point?
Well, I'm always honest, so I don't make up stuff on the fly. I tell them like it is. I just told you guys a minute ago, you can't turn the ball over. You can't have 10 penalties and expect to be competitive in a game versus a very good team. And obviously we weren't balanced enough on offense as well. But it's back to work, so we got to go back to work tomorrow. Got a short week, Thursday night football. And so we'll clean the tape up and then keep swinging. Yeah.
What is the approach with a short turnaround like this late in the season especially? And if you could fill us in on the offensive line, what exactly happened to Braxton Jones? That was a moment that everybody held their breath once again. We didn't know what it was until after that it was an ankle.
Yeah, obviously the first question you asked about the short week, coming around Thursday night football this time of the year, obviously keeping our guys fresh. We have a couple of double walkthrough days. To kind of get some normal down work in, and also third downs to work out situational work. And then, a lot of stuff we have time on task with, so there's not a lot of new inventory you kind of put in on a Thursday night game and get ready to roll. And obviously tough to see any guys go down, but it was obviously tough to see Brash go down the way he did. As far as I know right now, it's just an ankle injury. I'm not sure about the full details. And also had Tevin go out as well with a calf.
Yeah, and how, as an offensive play caller, you can't predict these things are going to happen, but it's happened a lot. Over the course of this season, the constant, how do you handle that?
You try to adapt and adjust. I think, again, the flow of the game does dictate some stuff that you can be able to call because, again, when you're playing from behind, trying to get back in it, we've got to drive back, got to be able to throw the football so you can't run it because, obviously, time becomes an issue. But you try to adapt and adjust on the fly the best you can.
All right, Thomas, have a very good Christmas, happy holidays, and we will see you on Thursday.
You too as well.
That is head coach Thomas Brown. Back to you guys in the studio.
JJ, thank you very much. The Thomas Brown interview with Jeff and Tom is brought to you by Finishing Chicago. All great finishes start with hiring qualified contractors from finishingchicago.com. For the Bears, after 3 divisional games that were lost on the final possessions, Thomas Brown is now 0-3 as head coach. All 3 of those losses by double digits. When we come back, we will continue our conversation breaking down their latest loss of the season with 2 games left to go. We'll also open up the phone lines, 312-332-3776. You're listening to the Post-Game Show on the Chicago Bears Radio Network.
Bears fans, welcome to another game day at the Gridiron. After seeing your beautiful automobiles at the tailgate, we're calling an audible so you can save on gas. That's right, Bears fans score big on game days. Save 25 cents per gallon on Shell V-Power Nitro Plus Premium Gasoline with the Fuel Rewards program. That's a touchdown for the tailgate. Download the Shell app, join the Fuel Rewards program today, and game on. Restrictions apply. Limited time at participating Shell stations. For more details, visit fuelrewards.com/bears.
Your company can save money by becoming more energy efficient. In fact, the ComEd Energy Efficiency Program can help your business find up to 35% in energy savings, resulting in lower energy costs. At ComEd, we're not just moving toward a clean energy future. We're powering the future of your business. Sign up for your free facility assessment at ComEd.com/poweringbiz. Terms and conditions apply. Offers are subject to change. Actual savings will vary by customer's usage and rate. The ComEd Energy Efficiency Program is funded in compliance with state law.
Right now at Old National, we have a $450 checking bonus.
Sign me up. But why is that hockey player standing there?
I'm here for the checking.
Well, for a bonus that big, bring on the checking.
Sir, no need to brace yourself against the wall.
It's bank checking.
I knew that.
Earn up to a $450 bonus when you open a checking account and complete qualifying activities within 90 days of account opening. Another reason to get old. Old National, where relationships and results matter. Member FDIC. Additional restrictions apply. Offer valid through January 31st, 2025. Visit oldnational.com/checking.
So you call your virtual insurance company to ask a simple question about your policy, but now you're on hold listening to this music while you wait and... wait. Auto Owners works with local independent agents who tailor coverage to meet your needs and pick up the phone when you call, because you shouldn't be on hold so long that you memorize the music. That's simple human sense.
Ask Conan Insurance in Aurora if auto owners make sense for you.
Miller Lite is brewed with great taste and only great taste.
The Miller Brewing Company would like to issue a correction. Miller Lite is brewed to be less filling. What are you doing here?
Miller Lite tastes great.
Look, I'm just reading the script. It says less filling.
That's not what my script says.
Well, mine says...
We'd like to apologize for the previous announcers. Miller Lite is in fact less filling and tastes great. Time to shine, legal guy.
Celebrate responsibly. Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Beer. 96 calories and 3.2 grams carbs per 12 ounces. Fewer calories and carbs than premium regular beer.
In football, success is about team effort, and the same is true for your hair. At Great Clips, they save your haircut details in clip notes, so every member of the highly skilled team knows exactly how to create your signature look. And with our easy-to-use app, you can check in from anywhere and get a ready next text when you're up next for a cut. It's the confidence of a great haircut, delivered by a team you trust. Download our app today. Great Clips. It's gonna be great.
Advantage Chevrolet Hodgkins, your connection to your new Chevy. Drive home in less than 60 minutes or they'll make your first car payment. See them in Hodgkins or visit AdvantageChevrolet.com.
Restrictions apply. Ask dealer for details.
Here comes...
Welcome to the Great Clips Post-Game Show on the Bears Radio Network. Brought to you by Great Clips. It's gonna be great. By Hard Rock Casino, Northern Indiana, and by Miller Lite. And now, the Great Clips Post-Game Show on the Bears Radio Network.
Here are your hosts, Peggy Kaczynski and John Yurkovich.
Welcome back into the Great Clips post-game show. The Bears drop one to the Lions, 34-17, as they continue to look for their first division win on the season. Going back to Thomas Brown's conversation with Jeff Joniak and Tom Thayer, Yurko, one of the things he talked about was the injury report. And they went into this game with Karan Amagaji inactive. Also, Doug Kramer came up with an injury after Saturday's walkthrough.
Yeah, probably a brain injury.
Ryan Bates was placed on IR, so they were down 3 offensive linemen, and then in the game they lost Tevin Jenkins. Jay Curhan came in to play left guard, and Braxton Jones, in what was a concerning scene on the field, the entire Bears sideline surrounded him on the field. He was carted off with his left ankle in an air cast. He did give the thumbs up as he was being carted off, but boy, this offensive line, it just keeps getting...
Well, you might see some guys put on injured reserve now, and you might see some bodies coming off the practice squad. And that's what you've got to go with.
Looking to see who they have on the practice squad.
I think for the better part of today, they did a good job of protecting the quarterback. This is also a team that's kind of depleted because they've got defensive linemen that have been dropped between Hutchinson, the kid they lost last week to the ACL. It's not the same group that you looked at the beginning of the season. So they did a pretty good job against the depleted unit themselves on the other side.
So the offensive linemen that are on the practice squad are Theo Benedict, who was famous for Hard Knocks for his God Bless the USA, and Chris Glazer, have not heard of him, and Ricky Stromberg.
Okay.
So
there's going to be some promotions.
Yeah.
Going to be some promotions. And you get thrown into the fire. Remember, Peg, the deep end of the pool?
Yep.
You either swim or you sink. So we'll see.
This is very true.
You never know. The third-round draft choice might suddenly get healthy again, too.
Let's look at a positive in this game, and that was the fourth down conversions. The Bears were 3 of 4. They found some explosive plays. Caleb Williams found some man matchups with Roma Dunze twice converting on 4th and 3 and 4th and 1. The first one for a 13-yard gain, and the second one, that 30-yard reception, which was huge. And then on 4th and 7, Keenan Allen with a 10-yard reception as well. Would you say that Caleb Williams grew in this game in his recognition of what the defenses are doing?
Yeah, I listen, I think early on, there was a little bit of a struggle, but then he got comfortable what he was going to see, and he made some throws. I think he made some throws that were impressive to anybody that was watching, and there's still times that you're going to scratch your head. He's a rookie quarterback. Still times that you're going to scratch your head out there and say, okay, well, what's he doing? What isn't he doing? A couple of times they gave the end zone shot, and they showed you that, there might still be some open guys that you're just not seeing. But for the better part of the day, you got to like what you saw out of Caleb Williams.
Caleb Williams with a 334-yard passing day with 2 touchdowns. He is standing by right now with Jason McKee.
Here, Bears quarterback Caleb Williams. Caleb, 334 yards passing today, 2 touchdowns. I know you would trade your stats for a win, but let's talk about it. Defensively, what did you see different coverage-wise compared to Game 1?
Yeah, I think as a defense for them, I think they pride themselves on, being physical and being violent and, being disciplined. And, I think they did well with that today. I think our guys, just made a couple plays, throughout the stretch of the game. And, we knew we would have to. And so they didn't really switch up too much other than they sent a couple more blitzes. I think it's because of the amount of guys they have down, whether it's D-line or backers or, safeties or corners. They got a bunch of guys down. So, being able to find ways to apply pressure and, do all of that. This game, I think that was a point for them, just knowing how many guys they had down.
Early in the game, you lose Tevin, you lose Braxton Jones. How much of a strain, and did that change the protection calls in terms of what you guys were calling?
I wouldn't say it changed the protection calls. I think obviously you make adjustments. I mean, there's guys that have been in different spots throughout the season that have stepped up and stepped in, and I think the guys that did well with that today. Excuse me. Obviously, when you get down a certain amount of points at the end of the game, the defense can now just kind of tee off and understand that there's not going to be many runs, if any, probably not any. And so now they're just pass rushing, and so it makes it tough on the O-line. So we got to find ways to be better in the first half, first quarter, and not turn the ball over and have these these penalties.
You and Keenan Allen's chemistry has been growing the past few weeks. What made it his day today? He had another big day. You seem to be looking at him early and often. What made it his day today?
Yeah, I mean, Keenan Allen's Keenan Allen. It's not hard to give him the ball. He runs great routes. You kind of figure him out. He's very QB friendly, and being able to find ways to get him the ball. He's always an efficient. He's always efficient when he has the ball in his hands. Whether they're playing zone, whether they're playing man, it's hard to guard him. And I mean, we've all seen it for 12 years now. So it's hard. It's not much to say.
Last question. Cole Kmet got back in the end zone. You guys were able to punch it in right there with him. Break down that touchdown pass to Cole for us.
Yeah, we've been heavy run when we get super low, and so being able to have a quick play action and Cole leak out and him being wide open. He offensive line, running backs, the play fake. The tight ends and everybody. I think everybody did a good job on that play, and we got to have more of those.
Happy holidays to you and your family. Thanks for your time. Back to you guys up in the booth.
J-Mac, thank you very much. Cole Kmet targeted twice today, including that touchdown pass. Keenan Allen, 13 targets. He ended up with 9 receptions, 141 yards, and a touchdown as well. And that Caleb Williams interview is not brought to you by Tums or Pepsi AC. No, 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 no. It is brought to you by Hard Rock Casino, Northern Indiana. That's right. Hard Rock Casino, Northern Indiana, located just 30 minutes from Soldier Field off I-80, I-94. So Caleb Williams, these final 2 games here, Yurko, it's all about the continued development of QB1, of the rookie quarterback. Rough day for them in rushing. They only had 59 yards on the ground, 17 handoffs, but he was their leading rusher. He is still growing. He is still finding a rhythm with his receivers.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's not made in just 1 year with the guys that you have and the guys that you've got. So there'll be adjustments made in the roster over the course of an offseason. And the guys that you're comfortable with this year may not be here next year, and you're going to have to find others that you're comfortable with. Odds are Rome is going to be here. Odds are that DJ Moore is going to be here. And Keenan Allen's going to be looking for greener pastures, where in the twilight of his career he's going to be able to hook up with a team that might be able to go to a Super Bowl. That's probably what he'd be looking for. Then there'd be a team out there that's looking for a veteran receiver. That's probably not going to get paid $23 million. That'd be a little bit friendlier contract for somebody to come in. Maybe he'll get multiple years and he'll go do that somewhere. But yeah, Caleb Williams will become accustomed to the people that are going to be around him, and he's going to become accustomed to an offense that he's going to run next year. I don't know what the terminology is going to be. You're a bright kid. He's a smart kid. No matter what, I played 4 different defenses with 4 different terminologies. That's what happens in the NFL. Coaches get hired, coaches get fired. You change teams, and guess what you have to do? You learn new terminology, and that's the way it goes.
And that's it. Ryan Poles brought that up in the pregame show, his interview with Jeff Joniak here on the Bears Radio Network. He said, they expected there to be some development, some ups and downs, because Caleb's played the same system his entire college career. So this is really only the second system that he has had to learn. There are going to be growing pains with it.
That's for every position. Obviously, the quarterback position a little bit more difficult than others. But still, you understand the basic concepts of football. Now you just have to learn a new terminology. That's all you have to do. Concepts are the same.
Right.
So I think Caleb Williams will be in a good situation moving forward with whoever the Bears are going to bring in here to be the head coach.
Speaking of that, when we come back, did Ben Johnson's audition in front of Bears brass impress them enough to want to hire him as the Bears' next head coach? And what do you think about that? 312-332-3776. We will open up the phone lines when we come back. This is the Great Clips postgame show on the Chicago Bears Radio Network.
Westfield Ford is your hometown Ford team. For nearly 40 years, Westfield Ford has been treating customers right and saving them more. Decades of terrific service has built the loyal following that Westfield enjoys today. Customers can count on a terrific inventory of over 300 new Fords and quality pre-driven vehicles. And big-time savings without all the hassles and games every time they visit. Often imitated, never duplicated. Westfield Ford on LaGrange Road in Countryside and westfieldford.com.
Roofers and Waterproofers Local 11 provides quality value and service in all facets of the commercial, industrial, and institutional roofing and waterproofing industry. Promoting skilled craftsmen and craftswomen through apprenticeship training, Local 11 members are trained in the application of the latest roofing and waterproofing techniques. They are at the forefront of design and installation of environmental-friendly solar, green, and garden systems. To find a highly skilled roofing contractor today, go to ChicagoRoofingContractors.org.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's favorite vodka for a reason. From the first legal distillery in Texas, Tito's is 6 times distilled till it's just right. And naturally gluten-free, making it a high-quality spirit that mixes with just about anything. From the smoothest martinis to the best Bloody Marys. Beyond the bottle, Tito's has gained a reputation for giving back, teaming up with nonprofits around the world to serve its communities and do good for dogs. Make your next cocktail with Tito's and learn more at Tito'sVodka.com. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof, crafted to be savored responsibly.
Hey, Bears fans, Steinhoffel's is a proud partner of the Chicago Bears. Steinhoffel's newest 100,000 square foot furniture and mattress superstore is now open in Orland Park at Orland Park Place, with furniture stores in Vernon Hills, Crystal Lake, Downers Grove, Harwood Heights, Schaumburg, and Orland Park. Steinhoffel's is Chicagoland's furniture and mattress leader with the largest selection to fit every style and budget, and is 100% employee owned. Shop in-store and online at steinhoffels.com.
Hi, this is Dave Musial, owner of Four Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, Plumbing, and Electric. Do you have a plumbing emergency? Call Four Seasons. An electrical emergency? Call Four Seasons. A heating or cooling emergency? Call Four Seasons. Same-day hot water tank installation needed? Call Four Seasons. Need a whole home generator? Call Four Seasons. We guarantee same-day installation on all heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical needs. And no extra charge for nights, weekends, or holidays.
For all the right reasons, call 866-4 Seasons.
Crash, bang, suddenly you are on the DL. If that happens as a result of somebody else's negligence, we can help. I'm Jim Morisi, Chicago personal injury lawyer. Our experienced attorneys and support staff will talk with you during a free consultation, tell you your options, and ensure that you take the right steps throughout the entire process. Visit us at MorisiLongo.com. That's MoriciLongo.com. Your future is our priority.
Accumulation, preservation, generation. At Busey Bank, these are the principles we use to build meaningful financial partnerships with our clients and their families. With sound advice and vast resources, partner with Busey for a personalized approach to your legacy. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868. Proud to be the official bank of the Fighting Illini. Member FDIC.
Hey, this is ESPN's Courtney Cronin. We're all obsessing over football right now. You need the latest news, the replays. You're talking about it on the shows. I get it because I live it. But guys, let's get on offense and tackle that holiday list with amazing deals on jewelry that Rogers & Hollins has going on right now. Go to rogersandhollins.com, chat with one of the online pros, or visit your local Rogers & Hollins. That's Rogers & Hollins, a Chicagoland staple for over 100 years.
Chicagoland's favorite locally made chocolate chip cookie and one of America's top-selling soft-baked cookies makes Matt's #1 on everybody's shopping list. Snap is back. Caleb Williams, plenty of protection, throws right. Getting the cast caught. Adunze to the 18. Wow, great catch, far side of the field for Roman Dunze. And the Bears have entered the red zone.
Peggy and Yurko, post-game on ESPN Chicago.
Looking at Ben Johnson on the opposite sideline at Soldier Field today, everybody was watching his every move to see if he could be the Bears' next head coach. And Yurko, he sure is creative.
Yeah. If he had a Bears hat underneath that Lions hat, is that what you're looking for?
That's right.
Any indications there might have been some clandestine meeting somewhere in downtown Chicago?
Oh, you never know. You never know. But interesting game. He did pull out a trick play. The fake stumble by Jared Goff. The fake fall by Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yeah.
Leaving Laporte wide open for the touchdown.
Laporte ends up just kind of streaking down the field while everybody's looking in the backfield at the chaos that was created intentionally. A little misdirection, a little deception, if you will, by the Detroit Lions. And there he is running free into the end zone by everybody. That's the way it works. They ran a reverse also between Gibbs and between Williams. And it looked like the Bears had it bottled up well. And what did he do? He just chucked the ball out there. Now, let's talk about what the difference in this game was. The differences in this game was the inability of the Bears to hold on to the football.
3 fumbles. They lost 2 of them.
Yeah, inability to hold on to the football. Guys, this is basic. This is complicated. This is the beginnings. I mean, it's not Doug Kramer getting the ball on one of those quick little zim receiver plays where the wide receiver's zipping across and you just hand him the ball. It's not Doug Kramer anymore. This is a wide receiver that should be accustomed over the course of time to handling a football between him and the quarterback.
He did it a ton in college.
Yeah, so it was disappointing. It was a little bit disappointing early on. You gave him 6 points. More than that, you put your defense on the field early. They held him to 2 field goals and a touchdown. 13's not insurmountable, but But then at some point, Detroit got in a little bit of a rhythm, and that's all it took, and there they were. And then the 89-yard touchdown pass to Jameson Williams, just like one big way. The safety just sitting there with his feet in cement for one reason or another. As he goes by him, Stevenson did a nice job as a cover 2 principal. Stevenson did a nice job carry him to the point where, okay, at some point somebody's going to enter my area. I'm going to have to stop. The safety didn't stay as deep as the deepest. He got run by. His feet were in concrete, and the next thing you know, 89 yards later, they've got a touchdown. Too easy, disappointing, a real demoralizer on the sideline. I mean, they came back and they competed, but just it's not enough. It's not enough. I don't know what happened to this defense. This defense used to be a good defense. I get it. You're playing better teams, more quality teams, more weapons are out there. But this defense used to fight and scratch. They were giving up 11, 10 yards to run. The only place they were stout was on the goal line.
Right.
This defensive line and that 8 or 7, they were stout on the goal line. They caused Gibbs and the Detroit Lions a lot of problems trying to get into the end zone. So you give them a little bit of credit down there. But after that, Peg, they're not much fight. 10, 11 yards of crack on the run. That doesn't bode well for a football team when that happens.
Held Detroit 2 of 5 in the red zone, but they still gave up 482 yards of offense to Detroit. Even if you take away that 82-yard touchdown reception from Jameson Williams, that's still 400 yards.
Yep.
So they're giving up 400 yards, and it seemed as if Detroit was just content to run the ball. 32 times they handed the ball off, and they were content to run the ball because it worked. And it opened up when they did want to go to pass it down.
I mean, it's a lot of yardage. It's 4.6 yards a carry. And again, they get a little bit of the benefit because of all the goal line runs that they had, that they bring that average down to 4.6 because it wasn't pretty out there when they were trying to go ahead and defend against the run. Just not good enough. Not good enough. The team as it's comprised right now, unfortunately, but both mentally and physically, is just not good enough to play in the NFL. And Ryan Pauls has to go about the business with Ian Cunningham. They've got to go about the business of finding players for this football team. You might have 20 to 25 players on this team that you want to keep, and then you've got to go ahead and you got to get yourself just a new roster.
Record win for the Detroit Lions and their franchise, setting a single-season record for scoring, 493 points for the NFL's highest-scoring team this year. They also broke a tie with the 91 and 2023 Lions for the most wins in franchise history now as they rack up their 13th win of the season. So the question remains, when you look at the division's best with Detroit and Minnesota, how far away are the Bears?
No, I didn't think they were far away coming into this year, but unfortunately for us, they've showed us they're a long ways away. Again, and for me, when things start going bad and you're on that downward slope, you get the old snowball that turns into a little bigger. That's where you found yourself. You've got to shed yourself of the stench of 2024, and that's what's happening right now. That's what's taken over ever since the Hail Mary completion. There's been a stench, a foul odor. Some dead bodies, maggots covering these dead bodies, infiltrating that locker room, and that stench has to be removed, and it will be. You know, they removed the offense coordinator, they removed the head coach, they put the interim guy, they put him up there. It's not good enough. It's not good enough. Every single person who is a coach at that facility needs to go. They're going to be handed their pink slips. They're going to be told, thank you very much for your effort. Unfortunately, it wasn't good enough. Good luck in finding your next job. That's it. That's it. I'd fumigate the coach's locker room and the coach's offices. I'd go up there and just do a power washing of the whole thing. Get rid of anything and everything that will remind you of 2024. Get yourself one of those things outside and burn it all. Burn it all. And start yourself anew and afresh next year.
Bears fans, let them hear it as well at the end of the game as the Bears were booed off the field as they're losing.
Wait till Thursday night.
It now goes to 9 straight games. It could go to double digits Thursday night. That's the Bears' next game. Thursday night football, a quick turnaround as they will host the Seattle Seahawks. The Seahawks in the hunt for the NFC West as they are now half a game back of the Rams. That's that. Early on this season, that looked like that could be a win.
Yeah, early on.
Early on.
Now, not so much.
No.
Seattle's playing for their playoff lives. They're going to be in here playing for their playoff lives on Thursday night.
Right.
They're playing right now. They're kicking and scratching, trying to get themselves a victory now to remain relevant. They've got to win today. When they come into the Bears, they see that on the schedule, short week, Thursday, coming into town. Oh, yeah, they've got themselves a victory lined up, and they probably already got to put it in there. And I would expect to see the best effort of the Bears of the final 2024 campaign against them, because you know what's going to happen in Green Bay. The Bears are going to go to Green Bay and get their asses kicked, because that's what Green Bay does to the Chicago Bears. They kick their asses. So the last chance of a great effort will be against Seattle on Thursday night.
Speaking of effort, what did you think of the Bears' effort today defensively? There was one play in particular which there was a half-assed attempt at a tackle by Jalen Johnson with Amon-Ra St. Brown, who somehow stayed on his feet, scored a touchdown, and Jalen Johnson at the 3-yard line basically just
ushered him into the end zone.
Yes, he just pushed him forward as opposed to wrapping him up and trying to tackle him.
Stepped aside.
Literally pushed him.
Stepped aside, grabbed him by the shoulder.
Did not want to get his jersey dirty, Yerk.
Hold on. Stepped aside, grabbed him by the thing, and pushed him in the back into the end zone.
That's what he did. He said, I would like an assist on that touchdown.
Well, I don't know if he's going to get one. They don't award those, unfortunately, in the National Football League. But if they did, if it was hockey, he definitely would have been there. He would have been a key instrument in that touchdown. And guess what? He's in the mode. He believes that he's earned it over the course of time. He's in self-preservation mode.
He already got paid.
He is not going to put himself in harm's way by any stretch of the imagination. He will not be in harm's way. That's the way it's going to be. He's going to try to stay healthy for the next 2 games, healthy into the offseason, have himself a productive offseason, come in anew next year, hopefully with a new defensive voice, with some new defensive players around him, and he's hoping that they're going to be able to do something. That's where he's gone. He's worried about his health right now. He's not worried about Bears victories by any stretch. And why would you be worried about Bears victories? Anybody out there? Is there anybody out there worried about Bears victories right now? This is a horrific season that's gone horrifically wrong. It's terrible. It's a disgrace. It's a national disgrace. It's a civic disgrace. It's the state of the state disgrace. It's just a disgrace is what it is. And let it finish out. Let it go to its the miserable end that it's going to have in this football season. This team's going to be 4-13. I don't know where they're going to be picking. I'll look up Tankathon right now to find out exactly.
I think they're at 8.
Anything that's happened today has been positive for the Chicago Bears. There it comes. First thing up there. It's been looked up so much. It's highlighted in a special color. That's how much it's been looked up because it's the only thing, unfortunately, that matters. No, the Jets lost. Carolina wins. They go to 4, but didn't the Bears beat Carolina earlier in the year?
Yes, they did.
So the tiebreaker is lost. So Carolina's going to have to win one of their final 2 to be able to go past it. Chicago's pick with Carolina has now vaulted to 41. It was 35th last week. It is now 41. So the Bears pick is at 40. The Carolina pick with Chicago is at 41. Congratulations. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oof, Chubba Hubbard, what a game.
See, look at you. It's come to the point where people are watching their fantasy football points.
Well, you have to.
And scoreboard watching rather than really cheering for what the Bears are or are not doing.
I know nobody cares. I mean, nobody really cares about the Bears getting their ass kicked again once more. And nobody really cares about my fantasy team. But this is the league that was drafted for me by 2 sons of another individual that was in the league. They did a wonderful job getting me some good skill position players at receiver and running back. But they gave me Anthony Richardson and Caleb Williams as quarterbacks early in the year.
Okay, well, early in the year, not good.
Both of them had to be jettisoned instantaneously.
Yes.
And all the quarterbacks that I picked up over the course of time only did an average job for me. But I picked up Bryce Young.
Wow.
And Bryce Young.
Don't you look like a genius?
When he got the second chance, I said, give the kid a second chance. Only after he came back and played halfway decent. I said, give the kid a second chance. You know what he's done? He's vaulted me into the finals. That's what he's done.
Well, I picked up Caleb Williams 3 weeks ago.
Right.
because I knew they're
That's not
playing from
bad.
behind.
Right, yeah. They're going to have to throw.
He's going to have to throw the ball. So it has not been terrible, but unfortunately, I benched Jared Goff today.
Oh, boy. No good for you.
No, I don't know.
Do you think the Bears going to muster a defensive effort?
Yeah. I thought that I bought into the Lions being all banged up. But, boy, they find a way, don't they?
Yeah, the Bears have 4 of the first 71 picks. Do you think they'd be able to find a legitimate center?
I think they could find 4 offensive linemen.
They could. They possibly need 4. The 9th, 40, 41, and 71. Come on now. The problem is I don't trust Ryan Poles to identify an offensive lineman. He doesn't know what he's doing when it comes to offensive linemen. Whoever's helping him find defensive backs is doing one hell of a job. Whoever they got finding defensive backs is my hero. I wish he could identify offensive linemen because Ryan Poles cannot.
Your phone lines will open up to get your calls.
Ooh.
As we reach the penultimate game of the season on Thursday night with the Bears hosting the Seahawks, we're going to open up the phone lines. What are you looking for from this Bears team as the losses keep piling up now? 4-11 on the season, and even 4-4 at home at Soldier Field, which used to be where they were magical and winning and doing well. But so much has gone wrong this year. What are your thoughts? We will take them and open up the phone lines at 312-332-3776. You are listening to the Great Clips postgame show on the Chicago Bears Radio Network.
This is the new home of the Bears, ESPN Chicago, WMVP, WTVC HD2, Chicago.
In football, success is about team effort, and the same is true for your hair. At Great Clips, they save your haircut details in clip notes, so every member of the highly skilled team knows exactly how to create your signature look. And with our easy-to-use app, you can check in from anywhere and get a ready next text when you're up next for a cut. It's the confidence of a great haircut, delivered by a team you trust. Download our app today. Great Clips. It's gonna be great.
Miller Lite is brewed with great taste and only great taste.
The Miller Brewing Company would like to issue a correction. Miller Lite is brewed to be less filling. What are you doing here?
Miller Lite tastes great.
Look, I'm just reading the script. It says less filling.
That's not what my script says.
Well, mine said.
We'd like to apologize for the previous announcers. Miller Lite is in fact less filling and tastes great. Time to shine, legal guy.
Celebrate responsibly. Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Beer. 96 calories and 3.2 grams carbs per 12 ounces. Fewer calories and carbs than premium regular beer.
You have heard me talk about how businesses are elevating their game in Bolingbrook. Here's Mayor Mary Alexander Basta to tell you herself.
Thanks, Peggy. Bolingbrook remains the most desirable southwest suburban location to start or expand your business. I invite you to learn how welcoming we are to the many businesses who recently have made Bolingbrook their home.
So if you're looking to elevate your future and the future of your business, visit bebolingbrook.com to learn more.
Join us and be Bolingbrook.
This is Jeff Joniak here to tell you about Ego Power Plus. Ego is the #1 rated brand in cordless outdoor power. Take it from me. I love the 22-inch Select Cut self-propelled lawnmower. It cuts my lawn in a single charge. Ego delivers the power and performance of gas, but without the noise, fuss, or fumes. Ego's patented 56-volt arc lithium battery technology is the heart and soul, the system, and what powers game-changing torque needed for demanding jobs. Learn more at egopowerplus.com. Ego, power beyond belief.
It's cold outside, but you ain't feeling it. You're sitting on a Zippo heated seat powered by your Zippo heat banks. You know Zippo, the iconic brand of lighters. Zippo has now created next-generation hand warmers. They keep your hands warm, can power your cold weather-defying heated seat, and charge your other USB devices. Imagine going to the games this winter and being nice and toasty when you're sitting and on your walk back to the heat. Zippo heat banks and Zippo heated seats are available now at Zippo.com and Bass Pro Shops nationwide.
What would you do with $1 million? Hard Rock Casino Northern Indiana wants to give you the chance to find out in our $1 million giveaway. Earn July 1st through December 27th. Then join us each Friday for your chance to win a grand finale spot for a 1 in 500 chance to be the guaranteed winner of $1 million. The $1 million giveaway. Exclusively at Hard Rock Casino Northern Indiana. Must be 21. See Players Club for complete details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
Whatever the adventure, there's a BMW engineered to take it on. The X3 delivers a striking design with agile performance. The 100% electric i4 packed with pure electric energy. Or the plug-in hybrid X5, an impressive versatile SUV granting full control on every journey. Choose what powers your next adventure during the BMW Road Home Sales Event. BMW, the ultimate driving machine. Hurry in for exceptional offers through January 2nd. Visit BMWUSA.com for details.
Right now at Old National, we have a $450 checking bonus.
Sign me up. But why is that hockey player standing there?
I'm here for the checking.
Well, for a bonus that big, bring on the checking.
Sir, no need to brace yourself against the wall.
It's bank checking.
I knew that.
Earn up to a $450 bonus when you open a checking account and complete qualifying activities within 90 days of account opening. Another reason to get old. Old National, where relationships and results matter. Member FDIC. Additional restrictions apply. Offer valid through January 31st, 2025. Visit oldnational.com/checking.
The Chicago Bears podcast. If you aren't listening, you're not getting the whole story. See it or hear it now on the ESPN Chicago app or wherever you like to pod.
Peggy and Yurko post-game on ESPN Chicago.
Call it Stumble Bun. That's right. Stumble Bum was the name of the Detroit play call in which Jared Goff pretended to fumble. They all yelled fumble. Jahmyr Gibbs pretended to dive into onto the ball. Yeah. And meanwhile, Jared Goff turned and threw to a wide open
Sam
Laporta.
Yeah.
And that play by Ben Johnson, Stumble Bum, was inspired by a Jordan Love play against the Bears when he dropped the snap, was able to pick it up, and still completed a big pass play. So now we know where that comes from. We haven't seen anything that creative here in Chicago.
No.
Since the Matt Nagy days. Yeah. And that was his first season.
Yeah, when they were winning games.
When they were winning games.
It's cute when you're winning games.
Right?
Yeah, when you win, it's cute. When you don't win and you run those types of plays and they don't work, they're no longer cute.
Oh, no, that's right. How am I forgetting? How am I forgetting about the Doug Kramer play?
I don't know.
How could I forget about that cute play that was called?
Such a beauty.
Right?
Yeah.
That throwback to the fridge. Although I did hear Tom Thayer talking about this.
Kramer time.
And, Kramer time. And Tom Thayer said that they actually practiced those plays quite a bit with the fridge. And they did fail before. So we only remember when it worked. But we don't remember the failures. Now we only remember the failures.
Only remember what went wrong.
Right.
Because we got a dose of it.
Oh, yes, we
Got
have.
a big heaping dose of what went wrong.
Let's go out to the phone lines. Moises is holding on from Tucson, Arizona, listening in on the ESPN Chicago app. Hello, Moises.
Hi. Hello. Good afternoon. How are you guys doing?
Great.
Great.
So Yurko, big fan, by the way. So I have a question for the draft because there's no point of talking about the game. We all know what we saw.
I concur, my friend. What would you like to know about the draft?
So there's two players that I really want.
Position.
One's the left tackle and one's a defensive tackle. I'm talking about Mason Graham from Michigan and Kelvin Banks from Texas. If you were the Bears, who would you rather take, knowing that those are our two biggest needs?
Mason Graham. Where's he from?
Michigan.
What the hell is this going on? Big fella from Michigan. I'm trying to look up Mason Graham. I ain't got a ton of whatchamacallit on him. 6'3". Hold on, 6'3". I'm just making sure.
Did you just say I ain't got a whole lot of?
I ain't got a whole lot of knowledge on Mason Graham. I'm telling Mason Graham. 6'3", 318 pounds. He plays defensive tackle in the middle. Oh, not bad. Not bad height. Not bad. I got to see his quickness. I got to see how he moves. I got to see how he plays. I got to see how long his arms are. Does he keep people off of him? I don't have that knowledge right now to sit here and be able to break down Mason Graham for you. I've got to watch more tape on him. Who's the second guy? He said Mason Graham. And who's the
left tackle? From Texas, the kid from Texas.
The big kid from Texas, the big goof from Texas. All right. I'm going to put this in there. Big goof from Texas. All right? Top. I'll look him up. Listen, I'll look him up and I'll take a look at him. Texas played the other day, right?
Yes, they did.
They won the other day, I believe. Did Texas play?
Yes, they did. They Calvin Banks Jr.
Calvin Banks Jr., is that what I'm looking for?
Yes. Yeah, he left the game Saturday. No, wait a second. I'm looking. That's the wrong one. A little bit of injury history, but hey, we don't like
that.
got Karan Amagaji, who had a big injury history, and that didn't scare the Bears away from drafting him high.
Kid out of Texas, huh? Well, I got to find him. This can't be done today. This got to be done over the course of time. It just can't be Texas A&M. I got a guy, big board, and you just don't know what you're going to get out of these guys. Interior. I don't want interior offensive linemen.
Let's go out to Bob.
I didn't put interior offensive linemen on here.
Bob is in Austin, Texas. Bob, can you tell us about the Longhorns left tackle?
You know, I don't follow the Longhorns very closely, so I really don't have any information for you, unfortunately. Sorry about that.
I'm with you.
What's on your mind, Bob?
Thanks for taking my call, and Merry Christmas, by the way.
Thank you. You too.
Yeah, my thoughts are, I read an article this week. It was very well done. I believe it by the Sun-Times about NFL statistics on accuracy of quarterbacks and where Caleb Williams falls in particular, the statistics of throws off target. And he is near the bottom of the league in accuracy with throws off target. And he's behind Bo Nix. He's behind Drake Ney. By the way, Jaden Daniels is near the top of the league in throws on target, minimizing throws off target. So I think that confirms what we've seen this year with the issues with him with his accuracy. And to me, a franchise quarterback should be accurate. I mean, all of your top quarterbacks are accurate. I know he's a rookie, but it's really concerning, and I just don't think – and his quarterback rating's mediocre, like 87. He's behind Drake May even on quarterback rating. So I just don't have a good feeling that he is a franchise-caliber quarterback based on what we're seeing. His stats are comparable to Justin Fields from last year. Now, I will have to give him some consideration about not having good protection all the time and getting sacked so much, but a lot of that's due to him holding on to the ball too much. And so, hopefully the next offensive coordinator can use some intelligence to design protection schemes to give him time to throw. Like, for what I would recommend, which I haven't seen hardly at all this year, is keep a back and a tight end in to help protect, or two backs, and you send out three receivers. You've got, 3 Pro Bowl receivers, whether it's a tight end and 2 wide receivers or 3 wide receivers. Let them beat the people in the secondary and give him time to throw, because Williams' quarterback rating, when he has time, is far above when he's pressured and not able to have time to throw. So that's my comments. Thank you for taking my call again.
Bob, thank you.
Thanks, Bob. Appreciate it.
Caleb today was better downfield. He had a couple of wild overthrows. There was an incompletion deep to DJ Moore, but you couldn't tell from the TV coverage whether DJ stopped his route. And Caleb was really upset, a little demonstrative after that incompletion. But he was better downfield with some of his deep passes today.
Yeah, I think he'll just get better. I mean, the more time he has, the more comfortable he has, I think he'll get a little bit better. Has he been erratic this year? Absolutely he has. There's no defense of him at times with where some of his passes ended up going. Kelvin Banks Jr. is your number 1 offensive tackle.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Versatile enough to play either side, right or left side of the line, right side or left side. Kid out of West Virginia, 6'6", 317 pounds. Wyatt Milliam is your second guy. Will Campbell out of LSU is your third guy. Then Ohio State, Texas, Arizona, Oregon, Minnesota, Purdue. So those are your big guys, big numbers right there that you're looking at. 3 to 4 guys usually end up going in the first round. Will you be able to get Kelvin Banks Jr. and or Will Campbell or Wyatt Milliam at 9? I believe you will. So if you're looking for offensive line, that's where you'll go. You might identify, as you go on, You know, like the kid from Oregon who's the 7th offensive tackle rated, you might be able to get him with the 40th or the 41st pick. And if you look at him and you judge and you say, hey, this is a guy that I like at this position, boom, that's the direction you go. You wait till the second round to get the tackle that you want to play left tackle for you, and you use for the first round a pass rusher.
There's a lot of people that do not trust Ryan Poles with this draft, and having another top 10 pick, being able to find the talent. You know, you draft the best talent available. You don't draft for need. This team has to start drafting for need. It's glaring.
Well, they need a guy to rush the passer, and they need a guy to protect the passer. So those are your two areas that you need. Those are two areas that might be hopefully rich in the draft, where you might be able to find some guys. Like I said, you've got 4 of the top 75 picks. If you want to help your quarterback, that's what you do. You can do it via free agency too, Peg. I'm not against that.
Right.
But not pick and choosing journeymen. When a top guy becomes available, you've got to go ahead and you've got to shoot for the stars.
Right.
This is a team that doesn't want to do that. I've already told you what I think about the money that they've spent. They're going to get the money back for Keenan Allen. They had luxury to be able to put him on and not have to worry about the salary cap. Our guy, Tremaine Edmonds, is just not getting it done. Sorry. Gets paid like a top linebacker, and he's just not a top linebacker. He's not. He doesn't play at the level. It's not his level. But he gets paid like he's a top linebacker. So he's gone. Get yourself a defensive line that's stout in front of your linebackers, and you can put anybody back there, and they look like stars. That's how you do it.
You have two wasted positions with at tight end as well, with Gerald Everett and
Mercedes Lewis. Captain,
Lewis.
El Capitan.
I mean, if you're going to throw money away like that because you like his leadership, and
Everett. I mean, it's only $2 million, I think, for it's only $2 million for the leader, Mercedes Lewis, and it's about $5.5 million for Gerald Everett. But guess
$8 million more that you could have added to get a better.
He was Waldron's guy. He came in with Waldron.
Yep.
So Waldron's gone. What do you think happens to our guy here?
Well, he'll be gone.
Number 14 will be gone.
Right.
Yes. And thanks for all the leadership. Now become a coach somewhere. Thank you, Mercedes Lewis. Now it's time to put you out to pasture, a little long in the tooth. And it's just time to say goodbye. And it's okay. It's okay. Time to say goodbye.
When we come back, let's open up the phone lines and get your opinions on Ryan Poles with this draft. He is going to have a plethora of picks, top 10 pick for sure. Do you trust him with what he will do with that pick? 312-332-3776. We continue with the phone lines. We'll continue with what you expect out of this team in their final 2 games of the season. Seattle on Thursday night. It's a quick turnaround at Soldier Field on Thursday night, prime time again for this team. Will they embarrass themselves yet again? And will it be yet their 4th double-digit loss? So much to ask you, so much to open up the phone lines and talk to you about. We'll do that when we come back.
Ho-ho! Welcome to the Make It Jingle with Kris Kringle podcast. Today we're talking to Jan from Toyota, all about Toyotathon.
Hi!
So, Jan, got any red Tacomas?
Yeah, we have a great selection of vehicles, including Tacomas.
After my big job, I'm taking the missus down to Florida to go surfing.
Did you say Florida? Can the elves and I go too?
Dealer inventory may vary. Offers are subject to change throughout Toyotathon, which ends on January 6th. See your participating Toyota dealer for details. Toyota. Let's go places.
$2 million. The Verdoliak Law Group wins again for their clients. That's right. The Verdoliak Law Group recovered $2 million for a client who was injured due to negligent lighting. If you're injured, make sure to call the Verdoliak Law Group. Playing professional football and being on the radio for many years, I've had the opportunity to endorse many products and companies, but this is special. The Verdoliak Law Group, owned by close friends, has been helping people for 60 years. They've even taken care of my neighbors and close friends. I truly believe in them. When you need a doctor, you look for the experience and the skill. The same goes when you're choosing a lawyer. The Verdoliak Law Group has recovered over $9 billion for clients and served more than 40,000 people. Whether it's personal injury, auto or truck accidents, wrongful death, or medical malpractice, call my friends at Verdoliak Law Group. The Verdoliak Law Group has done great for my friends and neighbors. They will do great for you, too. Call them today at 844-4VLG-LAW.
Hey, Bears fans. Steinhoffels is a proud partner of the Chicago Bears. And this Bears season, Steinhoffels is partnering with my friends at Special Spaces Illinois to create dream bedrooms for children battling cancer. For every false start caused by the Bears defense during a home game, Steinhoffels will donate $1,000 to Special Spaces Illinois. Steinhoffels has Chicagoland's largest selection of furniture and mattresses to fit every style and budget and is 100% employee-owned. Shop in-store and online at steinhoffels.com.
Your company can save money by becoming more energy efficient. In fact, the ComEd Energy Efficiency Program can help your business find up to 35% in energy savings, resulting in lower energy costs. At ComEd, we're not just moving toward a clean energy future. We're powering the future of your business. Sign up for your free facility assessment at ComEd.com/poweringbiz. Terms and conditions apply. Offers are subject to change. Actual savings will vary by customer's usage and rate. The ComEd Energy Efficiency Program is funded in compliance with state law.
Your heart. You'd never think of purposely stopping it. I'm Tara, and when my team at Northwestern Memorial Hospital found a malformation in my brain, my cardiologist and neurosurgeon said the only way to save me was to stop my heart, which they did. 12 times.
Nationally ranked for neurology and neurosurgery by U.S. News and World Report, Tara's team collaborated to temporarily stop blood flow, allowing a catheter to reach her brain and permanently obliterate the malformation. Northwestern Medicine. Better.
Reason number 354 to visit the city of Countryside, Chicago's Western Gateway.
How about Flag Creek Golf Course? One of the finest 9-hole golf courses in the Chicagoland area. This Greg Martin designed course offers something for every skill of golfer. Conveniently located off of I-55 and 294. So book your tee time today at flagcreekgolfcourse.com. Looking for a new home base? Visit the city of Countryside, Chicago's Western Gateway.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's favorite vodka for a reason. From the first legal distillery in Texas, Tito's is 6 times distilled till it's just right. And naturally gluten-free, making it a high-quality spirit that mixes with just about anything. From the smoothest martinis to the best Bloody Marys. Beyond the bottle, Tito's has gained a reputation for giving back, teaming up with nonprofits around the world to serve its communities and do good for dogs. Make your next cocktail with Tito's and learn more at Tito'sVodka.com. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof, crafted to be savored responsibly.
Uno's Pizza, handcrafted the Chicago way with the finest ingredients and buttery pie-like crust. Your taste buds will thank you. Find Uno's at your favorite local Chicagoland grocery store. It's called Uno's for a reason.
Snap is back. Good strong rush up front, picked up. They throw right side, running away the 20 to the 15 to the 10 to the end zone. Touchdown, Keenan Allen. Touchdown, Bears. 45-yard strike. Let him down the right sideline to the back corner of the end zone for 6. First down and 10. Snap is back. Caleb Williams. Tight pocket. Lobs it right. Keenan Allen snares it out of the air inside the 30-yard line of Detroit, where only he could get it. And those gifted hands pull it in. First down, Bears.
Golly, what a throw, Jeff. What
yes, sir.
Pecky and Yurko postgame, ESPN Chicago.
Keenan Allen, what a day for him. A nice double-digit effort for him when it came to yardage. Receiving yards for Keenan Allen today, 141 yards receiving, 9 catches. He was targeted 13 times, had that long of 45 yards, and he is our Bears advantage of the game because the Bears Advantage is always brought to you by Advantage Chevy Dealerships, home of the 60-minute guarantee. They'll have you driving off in your next Chevy in 60 minutes or less, or they'll make your first car payment. Don't forget, later on in the show, when we ask you who the Bears Advantage was, if you remember that we said it was Keenan Allen, you'll have an opportunity to put your name in the hopper for the grand prize we will be giving away in 2 weeks. And that is a 2-year prepay lease on a 2025 Chevy Equinox. Must be 18 years or older, from Illinois only. Official contest rules at ESPNChicagoContest.com. Caleb Williams is finding a nice little chemistry with Keenan Allen. He was asked about it by Jason McKee after the game, and he talked about what a pro Keenan Allen is and how Keenan Allen is a quarterback-friendly receiver. After a couple of weeks where it seemed like there were a couple of drops and maybe there were some miscues with him and Caleb Williams, there is a little nice chemistry between the elder statesman and the rookie.
Yeah, he was targeted 13 times today. So
he was the go-to guy.
He was the go-to guy. DJ Moore was targeted 10 times. Rome Odunze targeted 7 times. And your 3 wide receivers were your leading receivers for the day. 9, 4, and 7 receptions for the better part of about 257 yards between the 3 of those guys. So he was looking for his guys. His running back was his bailout coming out, and then he hit the receivers, the tight ends, I should say, for 3 passes the rest of the way out. Colin Johnson, I thought he had, but he had a ball that was a little bit off target that Colin Johnson should have been able to bring in, but maybe if a better throw, it's completion in that direction. Yeah, he's got good connection with Keenan Allen. I hope that he knows what it feels like, and then he develops it with his 2 main receivers that he's going to have as he moves forward. It's Rome Odunze and DJ Moore, because that's who's going to be here.
Let's go out to the phone lines. We asked you if you trust Ryan Poles with another top 10 draft pick. And where did you say right now we're at? Like the Bears would be picking around 8?
9.
9? Okay, 9.
9, 40, 41, and 75.
That's a lot of draft picks early on.
Yep.
Patrick is on the Northwest side and has some thoughts on that. Hello, Patrick.
Hello, how you guys doing? I'm done with Poles. I mean, how many times do you get to fail? How many times do you get to trade for a Claypool and have it be a team cancer? How many Nate Davises do you bring in and have another team cancer? How do you draft a great quarterback that Stevie Wonders would have known this guy was good? But no, he gets him, but he didn't build him an offensive line. Montgomery, we don't need you. Roquan Smith, we don't need you. He lets these guys go. He has not build a team. I mean, they're about to lose 11 straight games. How do you lose 11 straight games and you don't fire the general manager? You fire the coach. I've said this for a while now, and I mean, I wish Eberflus would write a tell-all book, because there's a lot of guys on that team that I believe are trouble. Stevenson, what is he doing? How many more times can this guy screw up? Let's see. Screwed up in the Washington game by being on the sidelines with the fans. Gets a trips a guy while he's on the sidelines in the Minnesota game, and then he's talking to the fans in the San Francisco game, and gets a penalty. He's a knucklehead. He doesn't get it. You know when he's going to get it? When he's unemployed. I mean, there's just, and I'm tired of giving the Hallises, the McCaskies, my money. It's expensive to go to a Bear game. It's $100 plus a pop. I got 2 tickets. I've been spending money they've been in my family since the 50s, but I've been spending it now for 20, 30 years. It's a lot of money. I could have went to Tuscany with that money, Hawaii. I could have done a lot of things with the money. And your whole day is ruined by these guys. You got to get up early. You got to go to the ballpark. You got to fight that miserable stadium. It's ridiculous. And what do we got now? We got a shyster lawyer who's going to be picking the head coach. Never coached a day in his life now. Never coached a day in his life, but he's going to pick the head coach. Based on what knowledge base? How are you going to do that?
Legal counsel.
It's ridiculous. This franchise is just lost.
Yeah, that's true.
It's gotten old. It's gotten really, really old.
Patrick, thank you for your passion. We appreciate it.
I imagine if you're a fan that's got to go to the games because you bought tickets, it's got to be painful. My niece went there today. She goes, I'm going to go to the game. I'm going to go to the game. She goes, I'm going to call you and tell you what I thought about it. I said, yeah, at 4 o'clock, after 4, we'll take phone calls. Give us a ring. She's probably so distraught and probably is inebriated right now. She can't call because she probably had to watch that football game where they got down right away.
Well, the problem that so many Bears fans run into is exactly what Patrick just said. Those are tickets that are passed on in generation to generation within a family. And you have a lot of blue-collar Chicagoans who are trying to hang on to these tickets that just get more and more pricey. Now you're looking at the potential of a new stadium, and there's going to be even more expenses that come with that. And you're looking at a team that hasn't had a playoff win since George McCaskey took over. I mean, this is
probably as tough it is for me like when birthday cake comes by. Because I want to eat the birthday cake. There's a lot of fans out there that want to go to the games. They want to enjoy Bears football. I want to enjoy the birthday cake. But I'm the only guy that can say no to a birthday cake. Me, as an individual, when it comes by, because I love birthday cake. The fans, at some point, if you're so infuriated, and it affects you, and it affects your mental well-being to the point where you're angry all the time, at some point, you've got to be able to say no.
But that is so hard to say that.
It's hard for me to pass by the cake also.
Yeah, but
that's why every time I have birthday cake, I eat it.
This isn't, they used to say that about Cubs tickets, and now you can get Cubs tickets whenever you want.
That's right.
Sox tickets, you know,
Sox
same
tickets,
thing.
you can get them for
Bulls
$1.60.
Blackhawks, they used to say that with all of them. Don't give up your season tickets, you know, because you could get.
Well, I'm telling you to give it up.
The Bears are the team that everyone is afraid to give up their tickets because when they do win, there's so few tickets that are available. That's why. Nobody wants to be on the outside for those, 8 games, 9 games that you're going to get a year. I understand it. It's a very, very tough decision for Bears fans. It's very difficult. And you're invested financially. You're not invested financially in the birthday cake. All right?
Well,
so
what are you talking about?
What'd you spend? $10 on a birthday cake?
A quarter sheet cake costs like $18. Well, they made a mistake.
No, they did not make a mistake. They are hanging on to family legacies.
That's foolish.
They're hanging on to family legacies.
That is foolish.
All right, let's take a break.
The only tradition that should be kept is a winning tradition. And the only legacy that should be kept is a winning legacy. That's it. All others go by the wayside. They crumble like gingerbread houses. Gone. Poof. Good night.
There are people that would pay their Bears season tickets before they pay their mortgage.
Fools, I tell you. Fools.
It happens.
I know, but they're fools.
All right, we'll take more of your phone calls when we come back.
What would you do with $1 million? Hard Rock Casino Northern Indiana wants to give you the chance to find out in our $1 million giveaway. Earn July 1st through December 27th. Then join us each Friday for your chance to win a grand finale spot for a 1 in 500 chance to be the guaranteed winner of $1 million. The $1 million giveaway, exclusively at Hard Rock Casino Northern Indiana. Must be 21. See Players Club for complete details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
Getting the kids to practice on time. Remembering if it's your day to bring snacks. Making it to the game with a clean jersey. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with Auto Owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like whether your kid is going to run toward first or third base. That's simple human sense.
Ask Conan Insurance in Aurora if Auto Owners make sense for you.
Whether you're ordering wings for the game, whipping up a 7-layer dip, or ordering pizza, there's something about football that makes you want to eat. And this football season, Uber Eats has the best deals on game day food. No matter what you're craving, from 2-for-1 pizza to buy one, get one wings, Uber Eats will be dropping new deals each week, all season long. Uber Eats, official on-demand delivery partner of the NFL. Order now. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
At Busey Wealth Management, we're proud to partner with individuals, families, and foundations, ensuring possibilities become achievements. From preserving and enhancing your assets to securing your legacy for future generations, we're focused on your success. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868. Proud to be the official bank of the Fighting Illini. Member FDIC.
Hey, this is ESPN's Courtney Cronin. We're all obsessing over football right now. You need the latest news, the replays. You're talking about it on the shows. I get it because I live it. But guys, let's get on offense and tackle that holiday list with amazing deals on jewelry that Rogers & Hollins has going on right now. Go to rogersandhollins.com, chat with one of the online pros, or visit your local Rogers & Hollins. That's Rogers & Hollins, a Chicagoland staple for over 100 years.
If you've been seriously injured at work, in a car accident, or on a construction site, you may not know where to turn. I'm Jim Morisi, Chicago personal injury lawyer and the managing partner of Morisi, Longo & Associates. We are the ones you need to call when you've been injured, the ones who gather the evidence and deal with the insurance companies. So here's the information to keep by your side. Our number is 312-372-9600, and our website is moricilongo.com, MORICILONGO.com. bolingbrook.com.
Hi, it's Peggy Kaczynski. You've heard me talk about how the village of Bolingbrook continues to rank as one of the most livable communities in Illinois. Here's Mayor Mary Alexander Basta to tell you herself.
Thanks, Peggy. With excellent schools, beautiful parks, and a wide range of shopping and dining options, I invite you to come and experience the warmth and friendliness of Bolingbrook for yourself.
If you're looking to elevate your future and the future of your family, visit bebolingbrook.com to learn more.
Join us and be Bolingbrook.
Bears fans, welcome to another game day at the Gridiron. After seeing your beautiful automobiles at the tailgate, we're calling an audible so you can save on gas. That's right, Bears fans score big on game days. Save 25 cents per gallon on Shell V-Power Nitro Plus Premium Gasoline with the Fuel Rewards program. That's a touchdown for the tailgate. Download the Shell app, join the Fuel Rewards program today, and game on. Restrictions apply. Limited time at participating Shell stations. For more details, visit fuelrewards.com/bears.
Ings Insurance. Insurance that's moving business forward. Ings Insurance. That's Ings with an E. ENGS Insurance.com.
High formation, Glazer ahead of DeAndre Swift. The take and the fake and the roll to the near side. Quick throw, left side of the end zone. Guess who? Cole Kmet. Touchdown. Touchdown Bears. Bootleg left side of the end zone, and everybody's swinging the bat like Cole.
Bears Monday starts with Cap and Jay Hood on ESPN Chicago.
It's a short turnaround for the Bears, who will now play the Seahawks Thursday night football. That is the day after Christmas, Thursday, December 26th, the 7 o'clock kickoff. We will have it for you right here on your home for the Bears, ESPN 1000 and the Chicago Bears radio network. Hey, you know that effort equals flavor, don't you? Well, whether it's burgers or shakes, rewards or guest service, you can bet your bottom bun they've thought about how they can smash it. Smash Burger. Every bite a better burger. And today's Smash Burger came at the perfect moment because we were hungry. It hit the spot.
Bacon stacker, too. That's what I got.
Oh, I had a little mushroom burger. It was
delicious.
Very good.
Yeah.
Excellent.
A little bacon, a little cheese, a little mushroom. Delicious.
Let's keep going on the phone lines. Josh is on the road calling in. Hello, Josh.
Josh?
Joshua.
Josh. Maybe we need to turn Josh up.
Hello, Josh.
Turn Josh up. You'll turn me down.
Josh.
All right, we'll check to
I
see if
think we
Josh
lost
is
Josh.
there.
That's all right.
He's still up there, but we just can't hear from him.
That's right. We could go out to Lincoln Park where Mark is holding on as well. Hello, Mark.
Hello, Peggy. Hello, Yerk. Thanks for taking my call.
All right, Marky, what's up?
Before I get to observations at Soldier Field today, Peggy, only because you brought it up on your show with Dion yesterday, my son and I are delighted that your daughter's surgery went fantastic. They're classmates together, and he's super happy to hear it.
Thank you.
All right.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
So observations from two football junkies. The most Honolulu blue I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
There's the Eagles and Cowboys fans travel. I haven't seen that many opposition fans since 1998 in that stadium. The defensive line, Yerk, was anemic. Jared Goff had as much time as he wanted. I think there was one sack.
Zach
Good
Pickens.
thing we passed on Jalen Carter, not once, but twice. Thirdly, our offensive line, woof. All I can say is woof. Caleb had a real good day for what he had to deal with. Not sure about some of the play calls using our wide receivers as running backs. I didn't understand those plays at all. But Keenan does have a ton of potential, and that couple hits to Keenan Allen, that was real fun to watch. That's about all I got, guys. Peggy, again, super happy to hear everything went well.
Thank you,
for
Mark.
taking my call.
Merry Christmas.
Yep.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, it's nice. It's nice to see that. But, boy, there was more blue inside Soldier Field than on the lakefront in Lake Michigan.
Well, you got to recoup.
That was something.
You've got to recoup your investments if you foolishly invested in the Chicago Bears this year. You do have to recoup your investment at some point.
Sell.
Frozen orange juice.
Listen, and
got to corner the market. You got to sell while you can.
Lions had they tied their franchise record 13 wins. So this is a big deal for Detroit.
And that's only a 5-hour trip here.
Yeah.
5.5 hours.
And everyone's on holiday break.
Right. Everybody's on holiday break. Why not? Hey, let's go to Chicago. Let's go watch our team destroy the Chicago Bears, which is what they do.
Wait till Thursday night.
People aren't coming from
We're
Seattle.
not seeing Seattle, but you will see empty seats.
You'll see empty seats more than you'll see Seattle.
Yeah, you'll definitely see empty seats.
Seattle doesn't travel, There's no trees to hug out here.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
Dennis is in Colorado listening in on the ESPN Chicago app. Welcome in, Dennis.
Hey, thank you. I'm a old Chicago Bear fan. Moved out to Colorado 30 years ago, but I'm from Calumet City, Illinois.
Beautiful, Dennis. How are you, my friend?
All right.
Did you go to TF North? Where'd you go?
Of course.
Mighty
Class
Meteors of
71.
Fractional. 71? You know the mayor?
Yeah.
You know Rick Lorenzen? You know the mayor? Oh, he's the best.
You know, I mean, your dean was probably Munda, wasn't he? We had Donald Hakes as our dean.
That's right. Hakes was still the dean while I was there, by the way. NFL referee, by the way, back judge, was on Jerry Markbright's crew.
Oh, yes, I know Jerry.
I'm telling Peggy right now.
Jerry
She's
Markbright
looking
out
at
of
me.
Skokie. I know. I
Right,
know.
yeah. And Donnie Hakes was his field judge, or his back judge, number 96, and he was from Calumet City, Illinois.
Well, there you
no
go.
longer with us, unfortunately. Don Hakes passed away a couple of years ago.
So I lived in Gold Coast at like 163rd and Wentworth. Where are you from in Calumet City?
154th place in Calumet City, right by Vicky's Melody Tap, Ray's Tavern, and Tubbs Pub.
I know exactly where it's at.
Of course she does.
Yeah, right.
You guys
But
want to
anyway,
exchange personal cell phone numbers or
Hey,
anything?
this
you know
is
what?
old home week.
It's fellow alumni, right? Of course.
That's
you know?
right.
But,
It's an alumni.
But what I see, you know, I want to talk about the quarterback for a second.
Let's do it.
I mean, watching the Broncos play, and they talk about Bo Nix, how good he is, and look, he's done a good job, okay? But the thing is, he has an offensive line behind him. He has some brain thrust behind him. He makes a lot of easy completions. Why? Because that's what they do. I mean, this poor Caleb Williams, I mean, the pass rush is in his head. What he's done this year under these kind of circumstances, it shows me he is a superstar. Can you imagine every time he gets the ball, he feels like he's going to get killed? I mean, you know, when you watch other teams play and then you watch the Bears play, I mean, as bad as the White Sox are, okay, they got a terrible team. The Bears are worse than the Sox. These guys quit, management quit, and you know what? Mike Shanahan, Coach Shanahan used to say, between a good team and a bad team, there's only a couple of plays that makes a difference in every game. The talent is pretty equal across the board, okay? It's how you put it together, your brains. And the Bears, I don't care how many first-round picks, how many high draft picks they get, how many, you know, they're just terrible. I mean, it's so much more to talent. Talent is almost secondary, you know? That's all I got to say.
Boy, you're frustrated. Good old class of 71, Mighty Meteors of Fractional.
Dennis, thank you for
like that.
Thank you for checking in. Hopefully, Yurko will invite you over for family holiday.
By the way, Peggy.
Yeah.
It was funny. He said the Gold Coast in Calumet City. I almost
caught
chuckled.
that.
I almost chuckled.
That was a good line.
Hey, good luck picking out the Gold Coast in Calumet City.
I thought that was a great line.
I thought it was a great line, too.
Yeah.
But I guess anything south of River Oaks Drive was considered the Gold Coast at one point.
To his point, what he was saying with Bo Nix, they showed a screen on the broadcast today of the rookie quarterbacks.
Yes.
And you brought up, you know, look at the numbers.
Yeah.
They're all basically the same. They're all basically putting up the same numbers.
Right. Yeah, we dissected it before. Some guys have a better completion percentage. Other guys got a few more touchdowns. Others have thrown less interceptions. Caleb has thrown less interceptions than his counterparts. So, yeah, it looks like everybody's kind of in a situation where they're playing. Nobody's really flourishing. Jaden Daniels is doing well with his crew. He threw 5 touchdowns today, threw 2 interceptions in a comeback victory against the Philadelphia Eagles. So, yeah, he had the game today. He looked great today. He looked good. Congratulations go out to him. And that might vault him up into the 20s now for the touchdown range. So, you know, it'll be a battle back and forth. Everybody will look at the end. But when your team wins, it seems like you're much better. And when your team loses, it seems like you get the stink.
They're magnified.
And right now, Caleb Williams gets the stink of the Bears. He gets the stink of the McCaskies. He gets the stink of Ryan Pauls and Ian Cunningham. He gets the stink of the fired coaches. He gets the stink of the Chicago Bears. And right now, because you're 4-11, you stink. That's what you are. You're a bad football team. Period. There's no debating it. That's what you are. It's unfortunate, but you get caught in the mire, and the stench rubs off on you. You can go to a cigar store where they're smoking cigars, and you may not smoke a cigar. You may not buy a cigar. But when you leave that cigar store, you got the stink of the cigar store on you. Caleb Williams has the stench of Chicago Bears all over it, and he's going to have to be the one that helps turn it around.
It's like the 90s, going to bars in the 90s, and everyone's smoking.
Everybody's smoking.
Your clothes smelled like smoke, whether you did or not.
Where's the first place you ever went where they didn't allow smoking inside of a bar?
Oh, where they didn't allow?
Yeah.
I remember when they smoked on airplanes.
Yeah, I was in New York. I was at a place called Blondie's, and they were the first ones in New York not
I think
to
I was
allow
in San
smoking.
Francisco.
Yeah, see?
Yeah, San Francisco. And
I walked out of there that day, and I was like, hey, this ain't kind of bad because I don't smoke.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that what is pretty nice. But I wouldn't tell people they couldn't smoke someplace. That's not up to me. Well, we'll leave it to the politicians. They'll tell everybody what to do.
More of your phone calls when we come back on the Great Clips postgame show on the Chicago Bears Radio Network.
Ho-ho! Welcome to the Make It Jingle with Kris Kringle podcast. Today we're talking to Jan from Toyota, all about Toyotathon.
Hi!
So, Jan, got any red Tacomas?
Yeah, we have a great selection of vehicles, including Tacomas.
After my big job, I'm taking the missus down to Florida to go surfing.
Did you say Florida? Can the elves and I go too?
Dealer inventory may vary. Offers are subject to change throughout Toyotathon, which ends on January 6th. See your participating Toyota dealer for details. Toyota. Let's go places.
UI Health believes everyone deserves exceptional care. Their care teams are leaders in managing and treating complex diseases and conditions, utilizing the latest innovations and minimally invasive surgery. UI Health prioritizes personalized care from diagnosis through precision treatment. UI Health develops the care plan that's right for you. UI Health, exceptional care for you. Learn more at uihealth.care.
Property managers and GCs use FinishingChicago.com's contractors for finishes and protective coatings in the most iconic venues, interior spaces, and essential infrastructure. Our painters apply industry-leading commercial and industrial finishes inside and out, so your biggest assets always put their best square footage forward. FinishingChicago.com has your free list of painting, wall covering, glass systems, drywall finishing, and signage contractors. For a great finish, start with FinishingChicago.com.
Attention, all last-minute shoppers in Chicago. The Wayfair store in Wilmette has everything still on your list, all at amazing end-of-year prices. Whether it's a stocking stuffer or a sofa, bring home just what you need today and get the big stuff shipped fast and free to your door. So grab a hot cocoa from the Wayfair store cafe and shop away. You're not late. You just saved the best part for last. Hurry in. Shop holiday deals now, online or at the Wayfair store in Edens Plaza in Wilmette.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
Right now at Old National, we have a $450 checking bonus.
Sign me up. But why is that hockey player standing there?
I'm here for the checking.
Well, for a bonus that big, bring on the checking.
Sir, no need to brace yourself against the wall.
It's bank checking.
I knew that.
Earn up to a $450 bonus when you open a checking account and complete qualifying activities within 90 days of account opening. Another reason to get old. Old National, where relationships and results matter. Member FDIC. Additional restrictions apply. Offer valid through January 31st, 2025. Visit oldnational.com/checking.
Miller Lite is brewed with great taste and only great taste.
The Miller Brewing Company would like to issue a correction. Miller Lite is brewed to be less filling. What are you doing here?
Miller Lite tastes great.
Look, I'm just reading the script. It says less filling.
That's not what my script says.
Well, mine said.
We'd like to apologize for the previous announcers. Miller Lite is in fact less filling and tastes great. Time to shine, legal guy.
Celebrate responsibly. Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Beer. 96 calories and 3.2 grams carbs per 12 ounces. Fewer calories and carbs than premium regular beer.
This holiday, BMW has reunited 3 members of the family at the BMW Road Home Sales event. The Agile X3, engineered for any adventure. The plug-in hybrid X5, commanding the streets with unmatched presence. And the all-electric i4, charging into the future with impeccable performance. Hurry in to find what powers your journey at the BMW Road Home Sales event. BMW, the ultimate driving machine. Hurry in for exceptional offers through January 2nd. Visit BMWUSA.com for details.
Your company can save money by becoming more energy efficient. In fact, the ComEd Energy Efficiency Program can help your business find up to 35% in energy savings, resulting in lower energy costs. At ComEd, we're not just moving toward a clean energy future. We're powering the future of your business. Sign up for your free facility assessment at ComEd.com/poweringbiz. Terms and conditions apply. Offers are subject to change. Actual savings will vary by customer's usage and rate. The ComEd Energy Efficiency Program is funded in compliance with state law.
When you think beef, think Papa Charlie's, Chicago's favorite Italian beef specialist for 3 decades. It's Chicago's favorite. For your next tailgate, pick up Papa Charlie's Italian beef today at your favorite local Chicagoland retailer.
Snap screen to the near side. Swift to catch the 40-45. Gets around the 50, and that's where he'll go down. The Bears are going to give it up. But that put Caleb Williams, that completion of DeAndre Swift, over 3,000 passing yards. The fourth quarterback in NFL history with 3,000 passing yards.
Peggy and Yurko postgame, ESPN Chicago.
And Caleb Williams, the first Bears quarterback to surpass 3,000 yards passing in their rookie season. That is why Caleb Williams is our Finding the Great. In sports, success is about team effort. And the same is true for your hair. At Great Clips, they save your haircut details in clip notes, so every member of the highly skilled team knows exactly how to create your signature look. Download their app today, Great Clips. It's gonna be great. We continue on the phone lines. A lot of people still want to make a decision on Caleb Williams. They're not sure what to make of him at this point. But let's see what some of our listeners have to say about it. Matt's in Streamwood. Hi, Matt.
Hi, Peggy and Yurko. Happy holidays to both of you. May I say to you guys two things regarding Thomas Brown and Eric Washington. How many times has this team practiced since Matt Eberflus been fired? I hear about the walkthroughs, but I'm tired of the walkthrough guys because I see the same thing with why do we have Roma Dunze being the running back? If he's not practicing it during the practice or he's doing it through the walkthroughs, he's obviously not ready. Why can't we have DeAndre Swift be the running back and Roma Dunze be the wide receiver? And why can't we have Doug Kramer be the lineman and not the fullback? Because they do stuff. They do stupid stuff. And the same thing with Eric Washington. Why is he not correcting Jalen Johnson since Matt Eberflus has been fired? Why is Jalen Johnson letting people go by into the end zone all the time without him correcting him? That's the third time in the third straight game that he just lets people go into the end zone and does not want to. He's making a business decision. And for the second thing regarding with Ryan Poles, when does Caleb's contract, this rookie contract, come to effect with Ryan Poles? I do not want him here on the third year for Caleb Williams because he's on a rookie contract. In the fourth year, he's going to probably have, 50 or 60 million, Yurko, if he does get a second contract. That we have got to have a championship roster when Caleb is on his rookie contract because he's going to absorb the most of that money. So I do not want Ryan Poles to make any more decisions on this roster. I've seen enough. I've seen the Nate Davis. I've seen all like Alex Leatherwood and all that stuff that they've done with Ryan Poles and his roster selection, whether it's through free agency or through the draft. That's enough. I can't see anymore. He is 2-15 in this division in 3 years. That's what a 15% winning percentage in this division.
It's terrible. Yeah, it's terrible.
We cannot afford to have Ryan Poles on this roster, especially under Caleb under contract. We need to have the GM and the head coach on the same contract and the same vision, and the vision is for Caleb Williams. Thank you guys, and happy holidays.
Merry Christmas, Matt.
I appreciate it. All right, you got 5 years of control. You have to make a decision after year 3 about the fifth-year option on your quarterback, the same way that you had to do the last 2 times. You didn't pick up the option on Mitch Trubisky. He played his 4th year and was gone. Went up to Buffalo, signed a contract for $5 million, and was the backup quarterback up there. Justin Fields, you have to make a decision after year 3. You made the decision after year 3 not to offer him a contract for year 5, pick up the 5th-year option. He asked to be traded. You traded him away to Pittsburgh. He started games early in the season. He won games early in the season for him, but when their quarterback, Russell Wilson, became healthy, they got him. So you've got a 6th-round pick. You're not getting a 4th-round pick. That's the way it is, all right? You don't have to make a decision until after year 3 to pick up a 5th-year option. So it's 5 years of control, and that 5th-year option will probably be $26 million at that point. So at $26 million, you're still not paying your quarterback $60 million. So I would offer you've got 4 more years of Caleb Williams where you've got to make a decision after 2 years whether you're going to keep him or not. Then you got 2 years to go ahead and try to negotiate a long-term deal with Caleb Williams, which would start in year 6. So that's the timing of everything as it starts to move forward. So you've got 4 more years of him at a decent salary before, if he proves himself as a quarterback, he's going to start making $60 million a year.
We're so far away from that right now.
Yes.
There are so many other issues with the Bears that we are so far away from that. I would rather worry about that in 2 years.
I would ask my general manager to quit trading for backup linemen, draft choices for backup linemen, like you did with whoever the right guard is, whoever the guys are that he's brought in here that he wasted draft choices on.
Ryan Bates.
If you don't think you can find a player in the 4th round or the 5th round or the 6th round, you should not be a part of this then. If you believe those are wasted draft choices, that you can't find somebody that can have an impact on your football team, you shouldn't be doing this. Because there's guys that don't get drafted every year that find a way to play in this league. And that's the way it is.
Look at the linebacker position. Yeah. You find undrafted guys all the time who are starters.
And if you don't believe it and you think, I'm just going to use this to go ahead and secure something that I think is going to be a person at the position who's got some NFL experience, the guys that you've brought in here stink. They stink. They're terrible at what they do. You're wasting, draft capital. You're wasting draft capital. And you do it over and over and over again. It was Carmen that was yelling at him last year for trading for the backup center at Buffalo when the starting center was going to be the one that was going to be let go because of salary cap reasons. You could wait for them to cut them both. You don't have to do anything. Be patient. If you can be patient, you're going to end up getting the better of the two players. Instead, you didn't get the better of the two players. You got a guy that's no good.
Now's the time for you to call us. If you remember who the advantage of the game was, you can have an opportunity to get your name in the hopper for that prepaid lease, 2-year lease on a Chevy Equinox. Who was our advantage of the game? And when we come back, we have a verdict. You are listening to the Great Clips postgame show on the Chicago Bears Radio Network.
With 3 locations to serve Chicagoland, Advantage Chevrolet gives you so much more. Visit and see the amazing inventory and savings at Advantage Chevrolet Bridgeview. And Advantage Chevrolet values your time. They'll have you in your new Chevy in less than 60 minutes, or they'll make your first car payment. That's right. Drive off in your new Chevy in less than 60 minutes, or they will make your first car payment. Visit AdvantageChevrolet.com. Together, let's drive.
Must mention offer upon arrival before negotiation. Restrictions apply. Ask dealer for details.
Bosch tools are built for workers. Bosch's powerful hammer drill has kickback control to help work go more smoothly when you need it. The 2-in-1 impact driver and wrench quickly changes between bits and sockets, so you only need one tool instead of 2. And the X-Lock grinder switches wheels up to 5 times faster than standard grinders. Bosch tools take care of the job and you. Bosch Tools, what hard workers deserve. Learn more at BoschTools.com.
What would you do with $1 million? Hard Rock Casino Northern Indiana wants to give you the chance to find out in our $1 million giveaway. Earn July 1st through December 27th. Then join us each Friday for your chance to win a grand finale spot for a 1 in 500 chance to be the guaranteed winner of $1 million. The $1 million giveaway. Exclusively at Hard Rock Casino Northern Indiana. Must be 21. See Players Club for complete details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
If you've been seriously injured at work, in a car accident, or on a construction site, you may not know where to turn. I'm Jim Morisi, Chicago personal injury lawyer and the managing partner of Morisi Longo and Associates. We are the ones you need to call when you've been injured, the ones who gather the evidence and deal with the insurance companies. So here's the information to keep by your side. Our number is 312-372-9600, and our website is moricilongo.com, MORICILONGO.com.
Hi, this is Dave Musial, owner of Four Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, Plumbing, and Electric. With our biggest sale ever. Furnaces from $39 a month. Furnace and air conditioning combos from $59 a month. Plus 72 months interest-free financing and up to a $4,000 system rebate. Four Seasons guaranteed to beat any competitor's price by up to $1,000 guaranteed. So call today for your free in-home estimate and same-day installation.
For all the right reasons, call 866-4 Seasons.
New cars and old friends. The Autobarn Volkswagen of Countryside, where friendly car professionals provide the highest quality vehicles at the best prices. 3 generations of automotive experience matched with state-of-the-art facilities. They've been at the heart of the Countryside community for over 20 years. Sure, a lot's changed, but their purpose hasn't. Loyalty lasts a lifetime at Autobarn VW. It's the best of both worlds. Every possible convenience, along with exceptional service and price. The Autobarn Volkswagen of Countryside. Shop online at VWofChicagoland.com.
Hi, this is Jeff Joniak here to tell you about Ego Outdoor Power Equipment. Did you know that all Ego 56-volt batteries are universal? I love that my lawnmower, string trimmer, and blower all share the same powerful 56-volt Ego Arc lithium battery. With over 90 Ego tools to choose from, you can build a powerful collection. Plus, Ego delivers the power of gas without the noise, fuss, or fumes. That's why Ego is the #1 rated brand in cordless outdoor power. Learn more at egopowerplus.com. In football, success is about team effort, and the same is true for your hair. At Great Clips, they save your haircut details in clip notes, so every member of the highly skilled team knows exactly how to create your signature look. And with our easy-to-use app, you can check in from anywhere and get a ready next text when you're up next for a cut. It's the confidence of a great haircut, delivered by a team you trust. Download our app today. Great Clips. It's gonna be great.
This is the Bears Radio Network on the flagship home of the Bears, ESPN Chicago. Post-game wrap-up is next with Jason McKee, Pat the Designer, and Jeff Mellon.
Bears lose to the Lions at Soldier Field, their 9th straight loss. They will try again with a quick turnaround playing Thursday night against the Seattle Seahawks. Seahawks are hanging tight with the Vikings, a 3-point game now in Seattle. Your Honor, we need a verdict.
Oh, you need a verdict?
Yes.
Yeah. The Bears are guilty of running out the string. That's what they're guilty of.
Oh, wow.
Just running out the string, indifference. That's where they're at right now. They're guilty of preserving their efforts for another year. Saving their services for the future. That's what they're guilty of. I don't expect better on Thursday. I certainly don't expect better in Lambeau Field on the final Sunday of the league year. I don't. It's going to continue to be what it is now. It's ugly. It's ugly. It's ugly. It's ugly. Guilty on all charges.
After the first 3 games against NFC North teams were all decided on final possessions, 7 points or less, 3 points even. Now, since Thomas Brown has taken over, the Bears have lost 3 straight, all double-digit losses. Our thanks go out to executive producer Eric Ostrowski, Kendra Smith, and Jack McGrath. Our broadcast crew, Jeff Joniak, Tom Thayer, and Jason McKee. Thank you to interim head coach Thomas Brown, QB1 Caleb Williams, and Keenan Allen, the Bears' leading receiver today, for their post-game interviews. Next game, Thursday night, the day after Christmas, against Seattle, 7 p.m. on Thursday Night Football. Have yourselves a very Merry Christmas, Yurko. Merry Christmas.
You too, Merry Christmas. And that verdict was brought to us by Verdoliak Law Group.
Fabulous.
844-VLG-LAW.
Happy holidays to all of you Bears fans. We will be with you the day after Christmas. For Yurko, I'm Peggy. You've been listening to the Great Clips postgame show on the Chicago Bears Radio Network. Bears lose to the Lions 34-17. As we say goodbye to our affiliates, we welcome the rest of you to stand by. It's the postgame show up next.
This is the new home of the Bears, ESPN Chicago, WMVP, WTBC HD2, Chicago.
Right now at Old National, we have a $450 checking bonus.
Sign me up. But why is that hockey player standing there?
I'm here for the checking.
Well, for a bonus that big, bring on the checking.
Sir, no need to brace yourself against the wall.
It's bank checking.
I knew that.
Earn up to a $450 bonus when you open a checking account and complete qualifying activities within 90 days of account opening. Another reason to get old. Old National, where relationships and results matter. Member FDIC. Additional restrictions apply. Offer valid through January 31st, 2025. Visit oldnational.com/checking.
So you call your virtual insurance company to ask a simple question about your policy, but now you're on hold listening to this music while you wait and... wait. Auto Owners works with local independent agents who tailor coverage to meet your needs and pick up the phone when you call, because you shouldn't be on hold so long that you memorize the music. That's simple human sense.
Ask Conan Insurance in Aurora if auto owners make sense for you.
Property managers and GCs use FinishingChicago.com's contractors for finishes and protective coatings in the most iconic venues, interior spaces, and essential infrastructure. Our painters apply industry-leading commercial and industrial finishes inside and out, so your biggest assets always put their best square footage forward. FinishingChicago.com has your free list of painting, wall covering, glass systems, drywall finishing, and signage contractors. For a great finish, start with FinishingChicago.com.
Attention, all last-minute shoppers in Chicago. The Wayfair store in Wilmette has everything still on your list, all at amazing end-of-year prices. Whether it's a stocking stuffer or a sofa, bring home just what you need today and get the big stuff shipped fast and free to your door. So grab a hot cocoa from the Wayfair store cafe and shop away. You're not late. You just saved the best part for last. Hurry in. Shop holiday deals now, online or at the Wayfair store in Edens Plaza in Wilmette.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
You have heard me talk about how businesses are elevating their game in Bolingbrook. Here's Mayor Mary Alexander Basta to tell you herself.
Thanks, Peggy. Bolingbrook remains the most desirable southwest suburban location to start or expand your business. I invite you to learn how welcoming we are to the many businesses who recently have made Bolingbrook their home.
So if you're looking to elevate your future and the future of your business, visit bebolingbrook.com to learn more.
Join us and be Bolingbrook.
Your company can save money by becoming more energy efficient. In fact, the ComEd Energy Efficiency Program can help your business find up to 35% in energy savings, resulting in lower energy costs. At ComEd, we're not just moving toward a clean energy future. We're powering the future of your business. Sign up for your free facility assessment at ComEd.com/poweringbiz. Terms and conditions apply. Offers are subject to change. Actual savings will vary by customer's usage and rate. The ComEd Energy Efficiency Program is funded in compliance with state law.
Backed by popular demand, the original Uno's Pizza you grew up with is available in the frozen aisle at your favorite Chicagoland grocer. That's right, that famous, irresistible, one-of-a-kind signature Chicago pizza is now available in 6 and 9-inch sizes for all under $10. Handcrafted the old-fashioned Chicago way with the finest ingredients and buttery pie-like crust, your taste buds will thank you. Find Uno's proudly displayed at your favorite local Chicagoland grocery store. It's called Uno's for a reason.
It's cold outside, but you ain't feeling it. You're sitting on a Zippo heated seat powered by your Zippo heat banks. You know Zippo, the iconic brand of lighters. Zippo has now created next-generation hand warmers. They keep your hands warm, can power your cold weather-defying heated seat, and charge your other USB devices. Imagine going to the games this winter and being nice and toasty when you're sitting and on your walk back to the heat. Zippo heat banks and Zippo heated seats are available now at Zippo.com and Bass Pro Shops nationwide.
'Tis the season to enjoy a great deal at Toyotathon. Hurry into your local Toyota dealer and give yourself the gift of great savings. Visit Toyota.com for more info. Toyota, let's go places.
You've been listening to Bears football on the Bears Radio Network. The Chicago Bears Radio Network is brought to you in part by Hard Rock Casino, Northern Indiana, by Miller Lite, and by Great Clips. This is Bears football on the new home of the Bears, ESPN Chicago.
Thanks for listening to the Chicago Bears Radio Network.
Snap. Goff fakes the handoff. Gonna toss it into the end zone over the shoulder, over the top of Owens to Laporta for the touchdown. Heck of a fake. 21 yards. Laporta sneaking away from Owens into the left corner of the end zone. Lobbed over the top. And now 300 passing yards for Goff.
Post-game wrap-up is next with Jason McKee, Pat the Designer, and Jeff Meller.
Bears 15 down, 2 to go. 4-11, 9 straight losses. The only remaining question for me at this point is whether or not the Bears can avoid an 11-game losing streak to conclude the season after another dreadful performance at home. Detroit Lions run away 34-17 today. Jared Goff had a field day, throwing for over 300 yards and 3 touchdowns in a chilly Soldier Field day. Caleb Williams also had 334 yards and a couple of touchdowns. The problem is that the Bears don't like to show up until at least the start of the second quarter these days, and it's been a really rough watch. And for me, the biggest takeaway, the way I approached this one, was I was watching and scouting what Ben Johnson was doing. Yeah. Because I think a lot of people, there was a lot of conversation surrounding the Lions coming in here, their offensive coordinator, and whether or not he could be the next man the Bears tap on the shoulder to be the head coach, and so everybody got a firsthand look at what he had devised, especially considering that the Detroit Lions defense has been ravaged by injuries, absolutely decimated like a MASH unit. So you know they're going to need to rely on their offense if they're going to continue to win games. The Lions did that today, and we saw an interesting, yet again, an interesting trick play as Jared Goff faked the stumble after Jahmyr Gibbs stumbled in the backfield. And sure enough, I think it was Jonathan Owens who bit the hardest on it, which allowed Sam Laporta to creep into the corner of the end zone for a touchdown. Seems like Ben Johnson has 3 or 4 of those up his sleeve every game. And we can also talk about the Bears. I'm Jeff Meller, along with Pat the Designer and Jason McKee, who was on the sidelines today. 34-17 loss, J-Mac. What are your takeaways from that one today?
Oh, man. What is it? I'm trying to think of the positives. Caleb. Keenan.
Keenan looked good.
Caleb, Keenan, Ben Johnson. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
And Ben Johnson's not even a Bear.
Exactly.
That just tells you, it's we got another quick turnaround Thursday. I mean, what did you expect, really? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Despite Detroit having, so many guys on IR defensively, I actually expected the offense to score more points.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying?
I agree.
And I understand that we've been, inconsistent all year offensively, but with the amount of guys that they have on IR, I think it's like 22 guys, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and 19 defensive players.
Yeah, exactly. So, you would hope that the offense would be able to move the ball efficiently. Caleb Williams did what he did against a defense that didn't have a lot of starters, but I just the thing that drives me crazy is the self-inflicted mistakes. I mean, how many false start penalties do we have? I mean, it's ridiculous.
Austin Booker.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a ton of stuff, and you look at those things, and that's like you can say that's coaching, but at the same time, as a player, you got to take ownership and say, okay, I've got to go on the right cadence. Like, it's ridiculous. I mean, how many times did we start drives 1st and 20? Like, come on, man. Like, it's ridiculous. But what do you expect? That's bad teams. They find a way to lose, and that's what we're doing right now.
Yeah, listen. The only thing that stood out to me is that if you have any leaders on your team, they're too young for you to speak up. And maybe that's not the case, right? Maybe it shouldn't be the case. Maybe you need some of those young guys to speak up. Maybe it does need to be Caleb Williams. Maybe it does need to be Rome Odunze. But the effort that the Chicago Bears for back-to-back weeks have put on display, the effort that your big money players are putting on display, Jalen Johnson, my bad, I didn't realize that you went on vacation a month ago. My bad, I didn't realize that the football season was done for you because the effort that you showed in this game was absolutely terrible. And you're one of my favorite players on the field. But to be one of the leaders, air quotes, of this defense, and you're letting that happen on the field, and J-Mac pointed it out on the podcast this week, you can't be a leader if you're done leading.
Yeah.
You can't be a leader if you're at 2 games left, 3 games left in the season, and the season is over, and you go, yep, I'm tapped out. Yeah, I'll see y'all next year. You're not a leader. You're a dude that got paid a lot of money.
Yeah. It's easy to say, right? We heard this last week, and, I think Cole Kmet's a great tight end. I love his game, but, to come out and say what he said, it was kind of confusing to me. I didn't expect that from him, to say that, hey, you know what, I've just got to focus on my beep, and, I'm guys, I'm leading.
You censoring yourself there? Is that what that was? Beep?
You hear that beep?
1998
hip-hop?
Cole didn't say beep, though.
Yeah. But you know what I mean?
That was J-Mac's way of directly quoting him on the radio. Legally.
But you see what I'm saying, though? It's like you got to, if you're a leader, you have that C in your chest, right? Despite how bad things get, right? Despite how frustrated you are, right? You have to continue to lead. That's why you're put in that position. You got that C in your chest, so you've got to take ownership of that. And if you're going to lead, you have to make sure that you're doing everything right, because I'm sure there's guys speaking in that locker room, but realistically, I'm not in there, but it doesn't look like nobody's following.
Yeah.
I mean, you got guys, saying things, having players-only meetings, but nobody's following. When you have a true leader, when he speaks, everybody's listening. He's the voice. Like, when he speaks up, people are listening, people are following. Why? Because he's doing the right things. Right? He's making plays on the field. He's putting in extra work. And if things are going your way, you got to continue to lead. So that means I've got to try to lead better. What creative way can I get? What creative way, can I try to lead better? Do I start grabbing guys? Hey, you're coming in here. You're watching the extra film. No, you're not going in early after practice. You're going to stay here. We're going to run some extra routes. You got to try to find a way to be a part of the solution.
Yeah,
you can't just give up.
Yeah, I think that's one of the more disappointing things, too, over the last 3 games since the Bears relieved Matt Eberflus of his duties and made Thomas Brown the interim head coach, is that you would have thought that there would be some pride amongst the players in the locker room to try and salvage this season in some ways and put some good film out there for themselves. And just as lost of a season as it's been, you would have thought, okay, you made a lot of noise. A lot of people were not happy with the way the season unfolded under Matt Eberflus. And unfortunately, they moved on from him because they were forced into the situation. But now to have, I do feel like they're, as a whole, even more sloppy than they were under Matt Eberflus, if that's, actually possible. It seems like there are more of these self-inflicted penalties. There's more of the business decisions being made and near the goal line when you're like, all right, well, they're close enough. They're going to score anyway, so why put my head down?
And I think that's the takeaway. Like, it feels more like me they've given up because now you're seeing the penalties pop up. Remember the first week under Thomas Brown, what they have? 3 penalties the entire game? The false start penalties were gone. Like, all of a sudden, you're like, oh, snap. Like, they care. Like, they figured out how to play football. Now, 2 weeks later, we sit there and go, oh. No, it's all back. It's all still there.
That's your memory from the start of the Thomas Brown era? Mine is the 4 yards in the first half against the Niners. But
of course. But my point is, right, as it continues to go on, it continues to go back to worse because maybe that was the week that you had a little bit of belief and you were trying your best and you just didn't have the talent that you thought you had, especially on that offensive line. And I mean, listen, the leadership in this building, I think that's the most concerning part for me is, you can go into next year and say, we're going to have a new head coach. We're going to add talent. We're going to add offensive linemen. Do you have leaders on this team? Do you have player leaders? And I'm sorry, if Mercedes Lewis is the biggest leader you got, he has to retire. Yes. It's over. It's over. Great career, brother. I love you. You know what I mean?
Here's the thing.
But it's over.
We talk about leadership, right? And let's, we can start forecasting to next year because that's what it is.
Yep.
DJ Moore will be back. Is he going to be a leader? Obviously Caleb's going to be back. He has a C on his chest now. I think he'll take the next step in terms of leadership. You look at, who am I missing? Oh, Jalen Johnson will be back.
Yeah.
And we've seen, Jalen Johnson show his frustration. He's even voiced it after games at times, in the media. So these are the guys, right? These are the pillars of your team. These are the foundational pieces of this team that's going to be here next year. You know what I'm saying? So, it's one thing to develop as a player, but I think these guys have to develop as leaders. If you really want to bring the young guys, if you want to help aid in the process or the development of these young guys, you got to help bring them along.
That's the voice of Jason McKee. He was on the sidelines of today's game, as he is for each and every broadcast. I'm Jeff Meller, along with Pat, the designer of the Post-postgame show, talking about another Bears loss, 9th straight, after losing to the Lions 34-17 today at home. Let's get things kicked off with Aaron, who's in Nebraska. What's going on, Aaron?
Aaron, what's going on?
Aaron.
Hey, y'all are telling everything. It's so sad to see it. Diehard Bears fan, it is so sad to see what they are doing.
Man,
my question to y'all is, listen, Bears, do we need an actual defense or an offensive coach? I kind of lean towards defensive coach because our defense, the last how many games, no one has showed up. They're all they checked out after the Hail Mary. All I would like to see is an actual team show up on any given day and give us the best product out there. And hopefully our owners, I don't see them doing it. I just wish I wish our players would step up and just please, in 2025, give us something.
We got to ask for.
I am so dumbstruck from our old 2020. I picked 9 wins. We ain't got nothing, fellas.
Yeah, no, we hear you, Aaron.
I hear you, Aaron. I mean, listen, we got to ask for more, though. You know what I mean? We came into this season saying, at the end of the year, I just hope the Bears are in the hunt graphic.
Pat,
we were there. We was there all the way till last week.
You had them at 10 wins.
I definitely. Hey, that's a sale job, my boy. It's called a sale job right there. I also thought that we had players that were going to give up. Honestly, when you talk about the effort of this team, which one of these guys feels like a leader on this team right now? Jalen Johnson. These are your captains. Jalen Johnson, DJ Moore, Caleb, Kevin Byard, Tremaine Edmonds. Tremaine Edmonds don't look like he could play the game sometimes.
I'll tell you what, Jalen
TJ
Johnson.
Edwards,
I would
Mercedes
say,
Lewis, Cole Kmet.
I would say Jalen Johnson in terms of the work ethic, right? You see the work ethic.
He puts in the work, 100%.
He's always the last guy off the field in practice. He was the last guy off the field in training camp. He's even the last guy off the field in pregame, right? So I would say that in that aspect, in terms of, his work ethic. Yeah, and you talk about, I think Mercedes Lewis, I mean, here's the thing, right? And I said this before. You're Mercedes Lewis, I understand you've played X amount of games. Like, that's awesome. You know what I mean? At the same time, you're a leader and, you're getting a rest day of practice, but you're only taking like 4 snaps in a game.
Exactly.
That's hard for me to fathom.
Agreed.
And I know the type of locker room that we had when guys didn't practice. We looked at you sideways.
Yeah.
We were asking you the question. It wasn't the coach saying, hey, J-Mac, you're not practicing. It was guys like Ruben Brown looking at me crazy like, why you ain't practicing?
Would you say you tore your shoulder up one week and Olin was on your heels about practicing?
Man. But you felt it, though.
Yeah.
Because, I knew if I came out there in just a practice jersey with no pads on, knowing I wasn't practicing, I knew the guys were going to look at me sideways.
Yeah.
Like, how are you missing? Like, you're having walkthroughs. You're not practicing at a walkthrough. I don't understand. Make it make sense for me.
No, listen. That
see what I'm
itself,
saying?
yeah,
No,
absolutely.
I get you.
And that also, I think, leads to a bigger question. Who was adamant that Mercedes Lewis needed to be on this roster? Because at 40 years old, you can make, you brought in Gerald Everett, right? And so the hope was, whether or not, it obviously hasn't played out the way you'd hoped, but you already had Cole Kmet and Gerald Everett on the roster, kind of taking up your primary tight end spots to get snaps. You had
a bunch of young guys.
I was just saying, you had Bates, you had Sweeney. Carlson went on injured reserve.
But those guys could have contributed where? Special teams, right?
Of course.
They're not just gonna, and don't get me wrong, like Mercedes Lewis was a great player when he was in his prime, awesome player. I understand, I get it, but if you have to bring in a guy to be a leader, to help you set the culture, and that's really what he's on the roster for. He's not really getting reps in the game. Like, well, just make him a coach. Make him a leadership coach. I don't know.
No, I'm with you. It doesn't make any sense. It didn't make a lot of sense heading into the preseason. It's one that kind of flew under the radar because I think a lot of Bears fans were extremely excited about Caleb, all the weapons that were surrounding him. So,
But other names, Jeff. That's the least of my concerns on this list.
But you know what,
of the leadership guys on this list, Mercedes Lewis is he's the end of the roster guy. But I just gave you 10 names that are supposed to be here moving forward. And we don't feel like any of those guys have stuck out as a leader. Maybe a leader by example in Jalen Johnson. I do give you that, and we see him out there as that guy.
Yeah.
But you can't lead by example if people don't follow your example.
Right, and here's the thing, right? That's why I say I try to, when I talk about this topic, I try to only talk about things I see. So I see Jalen Johnson putting in work when I'm at the facility, which isn't a lot. Pat, you're there more than me.
Yeah, Jalen's always working. He's
So
one
here's
of the hardest
thing.
workers.
I don't see. I'm not in that locker room. Obviously, I'm not in the meeting room. So I can't sit there and say that, Cole's not a vocal leader. I can't say that Jalen's not a vocal leader. I can't say that Caleb's not a vocal leader. Right? I can only comment on what I see. So I see the work ethic in Jalen Johnson. I see the post-game press conference of Cole talking about the frustration trying to lead.
Right.
Guy's not following, so he's going to do his own thing. That's why I'm commenting on those things.
Sure.
Because as a leader, and I understand Cole's frustration. I get it. I've never been a part of a losing streak like this, but I get it. When you're constantly trying to bring guys around. You're trying to, instill discipline in guys. You're trying to lead, and guys aren't following. I know it's very frustrating. I'm a high school coach, so I see it all the time. But at the same time, you cannot throw in the towel. If you're one of those guys, if you're one of those pillars, if you have that senior chest, you got to try to find a way to galvanize guys to go out there and put forth their best effort. Are we a good team right now? No. Do we have the talent that Detroit has? No. But we can go out here and play with some effort, right? We can stop the self-inflicted mistakes in terms of false starts and all the other garbage that we're seeing week after week. Yeah. That is unacceptable. That is not coaching, right? That's not coaching. That's leadership. That's culture.
Yes.
Because if we're allowing that to happen, when I see guys come off the field from having a false start and another driver starting 1st and 20, and I don't see nobody in the face of that guy who did it, there's a problem.
Yeah.
There is a problem.
And listen, I'm with you in the sense that, to get back to Mercedes Lewis for a minute, the point is, though, I think it all feeds into one another, right? you have 8 captains on the leadership committee. If you've got guys you trust so much, why does Mercedes Lewis need to be here when he's not really going to play, right?
Yeah.
And like, so it just factors in. And then, like you say, it's just a back end of the roster spot. I understand if you're a playoff caliber team and you want that guy, maybe it makes a little bit more sense.
Yeah.
Like that season, you think that guy helps create a culture that will help lead you deep into the playoffs. But whatever you're establishing, you're also foregoing potentially younger players who you might hit on who could become something. And when the Gerald Everett signing turns into a disaster and now he barely sees the field at that stage, like you could be developing other younger players. What are they going to turn into? I have no idea. But the other thing is Ryan Poles seems to be overconfident at times that the roster he's constructed, that everything's going to work out swell. And because of that, he doesn't want to create any additional, roster pressure for other players because he just expects his picks and his guys to turn out. And, this goes back to the offensive line, too. Do we have any clarity on the Karen Amagaji decision today for him to be inactive? Tevin Jenkins, who does he complete 50% of the games he plays in these days? And I bring it up because if you're counting on that guy, then you probably should have some additional options on the game day active roster.
Yeah.
I mean,
here's the thing. We look at this, right? The whole offensive line, it's been just like, despite the deficiencies we have on the offensive line, it's been like a mystery all year. Like the week, so what was it? The week before last, Braxton Jones all of a sudden comes up. He's not playing, right? Concussion symptoms that you show on, what was it, Friday?
Friday.
Yeah. Friday. Like, okay, like you just, so you practice all week.
Late,
and all of a sudden, these symptoms just pop up, okay? And then all of a sudden, Doug Kramer's inactive today, right? Hurt his shoulder. I'm there. When did he get hurt? I don't understand that. Like, when did he get hurt?
Yeah.
Was it in practice?
What are you doing?
Was it during walkthroughs? I'm not trying to crack a joke. I'm serious.
Was it when he was not reporting?
And I don't want to be that guy, but
I'll be that guy. That's fine.
You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying.
But see, even that though, if it's when he's not reporting, this last week, you're not getting the reps. You're the guy that's at the back of the bench. You're DNP all week. So if that's the case,
so he's out, and then it's Tevin's banged up, obviously, but it's just. All year it's been something crazy. Every week, they don't show up on an injury report. All of a sudden, they're on the injury report.
Yeah.
They're not playing. You got to put in a guy like Jake Curran.
Yes.
You know what I mean? All of a sudden, Larry Borum's in there. Your whole left side is Jake Curran and Larry Borum.
And what's the first play we run from scrimmage, Jake?
Outside zone to the left
Larry
side.
Borum. Boom! There we go.
And it just goes to show, though, too, what's the real plan, right? Because Monday night, Karen Amagaji's getting a start to make. He's making his first career NFL start. And you're done with Larry Borum, and a week later, you're like, all right, you know what? Kid's not ready.
Here's the thing, right? Here's the thing with Karen. I get it, right? I get it, and we can say what we want to say. Yes, he had a terrible performance, right? But at the same time, even if he didn't know he was going in, you still got to prepare like you're going in. But here's the thing: when you're starting a rookie left tackle on the road, Monday Night Football, you may want to give him some help. You may want to put a tight end over there.
Yeah.
You may want to make sure a back's over there to chip.
Solo against Grenard.
Especially in critical situations. I'm not going to single up my left tackle on the road where crowd noise is a factor.
Yeah.
He's not even getting out of his stance and he's getting beat around the corner. And he's a rookie. He hasn't experienced that. How many snaps did he get in training camp? None.
See, here's
none. Is he really prepared? How many snaps has he had before he played that game?
Whatever he played in that previous game where he came in.
Let him man up on the man who's got 11 sacks. Let him do that. Go ahead.
But that's what we're resorting to because that's all we have.
And that's the biggest problem to me. I said week 2. I came in here and everybody was like, Pat, you're being too hard on him. This season falls on Ryan Poles' feet. You went out and drafted the shiny new Ferrari, and you left it outside in a hailstorm. 60 sacks on the season. Caleb Williams is your new Ferrari. And listen, for what everybody, and I'm sure we're going to have calls on both sides where Caleb Williams is Jesus Christ with a football or where Caleb Williams is the worst quarterback you've ever seen. For what Caleb Williams has had to go through this season to be above 3,200 passing yards, to have 19 touchdowns, and not be one of the highest intercepted quarterbacks in the NFL, I'd say that's a solid rookie season for a guy who's in a bad position. But your general manager, which I think scares me the most coming into this year because we have high picks again, it's not that he couldn't go get O-line to protect Caleb.
Chose not to.
You chose not to. You let Tyler Biazza go over there and be able to lead Jaden Daniels, the guy who you let get drafted second, or you allowed Washington to draft second because you took Caleb. They made the decision to protect their young quarterback. Look how he's doing. You didn't want to go and move up in the draft and go get offensive linemen that were available. This was an offensive line heavy draft, and a lot of these guys are looking good. I don't know who's in charge of the evaluation process, but dare I say, I've seen Cedric Van Pran do 3 things that I haven't seen Coleman Shelton do all at once this season, and he was taken after you took a punter. Sorry about that, Jeff. But he's been able to snap, block, and stay upright. Coleman Shelton can't do all 3 at the same time. That's my problem with where our general manager is at right now. You didn't choose one over the other. You just said, we can go get a $3 million backup center who was cut because he's got snaps over his career.
Here's the thing, though, Pat. What you're bringing up, I think you could almost accept it if that was the route he went. It seemed like, though, between Ryan Bates and Coleman Shelton, those were the hand-picked players that they wanted.
Well, they tried to get Bates the year before.
Again, and we get back to the point of the evaluation process. Ryan Poles assumes he's going to be right about everything he does. The truth is that I think the best GMs in the league understand that, like, a lot of this, you're throwing a few darts at the board. You think you know what you know, but there's a lot of things you don't. And until you get them into the building, you have no actual reality of what type of players these guys are.
When you look at this team, right, there's 2 things that make us, that don't make us a contender. It makes us pretenders, right? 1, we can't protect the quarterback. 2, we can't get to the quarterback.
Yeah.
So it's not just the offensive line, it's the defensive line. We had 1 sack today against Jared Goff, who sat back there and might have won the MVP, the NFL MVP this year he's been putting together games like that, but we're letting him sit in the pocket. We're letting him get comfortable. We're not getting him off his mark. He's just dissecting the defense because we can't get no pass rush, right? We've seen this week after week, right? It's the O-line and the D-line. We can't generate no pass rush. It puts a lot of stress on the secondary. What happens? Bombs over Baghdad. They're throwing the ball all
Jamison
over
Williams,
the
82-yard touchdown.
They're literally drawing up joke plays.
Yep.
A play that was a legitimate broken play that the Packers end up completing against you.
Here's the thing.
Ben Johnson said, let's draw it up, see if it works
the
against
stumble
them.
play worked because he knows we can't get pressure and he knows we're going to bite on it.
Yep.
We've been on play action the whole game. We're going to bite on a stumble. We might. Oh, they're not going to stumble into a sack, so let's fake a stumble and go over the top to Sam Laporta.
That's Jason McKee. I'm Jeff Miller, along with Pat, the designer, taking your calls at 312-332-3776. Bears lose to the Lions 34-17. Lots to dissect. We'll do it with you coming up next right here on your home of the Bears, ESPN 1000.
ESPN Chicago. Here comes the Chicago Bears podcast. If you aren't listening, you're not getting the whole story. Join host Pat the Designer with special guests and guest host daily. See it or hear it now on the ESPN Chicago app or wherever you like to pod.
Yeah. That's the ease at which you get information. You want it, you get it. Like that. Ask your phone. Group chat. Smartphone. You're always connected and informed in real time. No waiting. So if you're diabetic and still using finger sticks to read your blood sugar, what are you waiting for? Knowing your blood sugar levels instantly is important for managing diabetes. Call US Med at 888-665-0696. To learn more about continuous glucose monitors, a real-time instant method to track your blood glucose, US Med is an approved provider for Medicare and over 1,000 private insurers. And the best part? Call 888-665-0696 and we'll give you a free insurance benefits check today. So call 888-665-0696 today. That's 888-665-0696 and manage your diabetes as easy as...
Xfinity here. How can we help?
Hi. My entire family's obsessed with all things Wicked, but my kids can't stop watching the trailer, and now they're having a Wicked-themed sleepover. Do you think our internet can handle all of the streaming and memeing going on?
Well, we've engineered our Xfinity gateways to handle hundreds of devices at once, so they can all stay magically connected.
Wow. Are you a wizard?
I wish. No, just someone that won't let a bad connection burst your internet bubble.
Now through December 22nd, get Thrillifyingly fast 150 megabit Xfinity internet for just $35 a month for 12 months with no annual contract and free Wi-Fi equipment included. Plus, learn how to get a free 5G phone with Xfinity Mobile at Xfinity.com. Switch today and keep the magic going from your screen to the big screen. And see Wicked in theaters now. Restrictions apply. Requires PayPal split on auto stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. After promo, regular rates apply. Currently $56 a month for internet service and $15 for Wi-Fi equipment. Actual speeds vary and not guaranteed.
Caesars Sportsbook is the only sportsbook app with Caesars rewards. Win or lose, every bet you place brings you closer to the types of perks only Caesars can offer. Download the app using promo code RADIODYW and place your first bet of $1 or more for a chance to double your winnings on your next 10 bets. 21 or older new users in Illinois. Max bet $25 for boosted winnings. Max additional winnings $2,500 per bet. Profit boost tokens expire 14 days after receipt. For terms, see Caesars.com/promos. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
In Chinatown, nothing ever changes. I feel like I'm a background character. I think that's called being a loser.
Based on the bestseller by Charles Yu.
Police are investigating a missing woman. Willis Wu. I'm a detective. I need your help.
Why me?
You know Chinatown better than I do.
From visionary director Taika Waititi comes a mind-bending new series.
If you want to be a part of this, why not be the hero? In Chinatown, Kung Fu can break on any moment.
The Hulu original series, Interior Chinatown. All episodes now streaming on Hulu.
Don't let cold season make you miserable. Try the quick drug-free solution for nasal congestion, Navage. Navage uses gentle suction to flush out your sinuses with refreshing saline, helping you breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier all winter long. And here's even better news. Navage is now available at select warehouse clubs in a great new value pack. It's everything you need to start breathing better fast. Check out Navage at your local retailer today. Navage, Navage, breathe easy.
Want to buy a vehicle in 60 minutes or less? Purchase your next vehicle in 60 minutes or less at Advantage Chevrolet Hodgkins, or your first car payment is on them. And every new Chevy comes with the Advantage Plus program. Together, let's drive. Restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
We are back right here on ESPN Chicago, the post-game show. Jeller along with Jason McKee and talking about yet another Bears loss, 9 straight. It has been quite a disaster. Will they avoid closing out the season on an 11-game losing streak? If I had to press you guys, what do you think? Can they get Seattle on Thursday?
Seattle play today.
They're playing Vikings right now.
All right, so Geno Smith's back, right? He came back today. Kenneth Walker, because I was listening to I was listening to the fantasy football
show.
Thank you, buddy.
Thank you.
Make sure y'all tune in, man.
I'm out the playoffs, so it don't matter for me.
I don't have a fantasy team, but I listen because Jeff be doing his thing,
Jeff
man.
a good guy.
I love you guys. Kenneth Walker, he's back there. And this is coming up in 4 days. Day after Christmas, the Bears host the Seahawks. It should be prime. This is the one. If the Bears are going to get it, it's going to be hard to get the Packers in Lambeau when the Packers probably going to need it to secure playoffs.
I'm going to tell you this, and this is bad. I'm not trying to be funny, but I'm being dead serious. I'm more worried about the temperature of those 2 games because I got to stand out there. So I'm worried. I've been scouting the temperature for Thursday, and I've been scouting the temperature for Green Bay.
Yeah.
I'm worried about the temperature.
Yeah, there's supposed to be a white Christmas, J-Max, so be careful out there. No, listen, do I think that the Bears can win? Sure. Like, I think...
Well, no. Do you think they will? Not. Of course they can.
I mean...
Will they? Because do you think they're getting...
Speak your mind,
I won't pick the Bears to win another game until I think there's some real change up there and until you have some hogs up front. The problem is you're not going to be able to get any of those.
Fair.
You need hogs up front and then some dogs on the other. Hogs and dogs. That's what we need.
Dogs.
With the first pick, the Bears draft a hog. With the next pick in the draft, the Bears draft a dog.
Yeah.
That's all. Hogs and dogs. That's all we need.
And the entire hope when Ryan Poles was hired here was that he was going to address the trenches. And listen, not for lack of trying, he's missed completely. I mean, he's basically a White Sox hitter with his percentage in the trenches. Darnell Wright is maybe a 1. Can we say he's a single right now? Maybe he's a single?
Yeah.
You're going to stop talking about Poles like that, too, man.
I mean, what, honestly?
Yeah, he might be waiting downstairs for you.
Hey, I hope to meet him there, and I hope to tell him to stop drafting dudes that play like you. Stop drafting these BYU or Yale, or stop drafting these dudes who are going to Ivy League schools and opting for them over going for the dudes that are the hogs that play for Alabama or that play for LSU or that play for USC. Stop drafting the dudes that are smaller than every other. Oh, and by the way, if you could, just a caveat, when you're drafting a guy, maybe make sure he's not hurt when you draft him. Oh, we knew about the injury coming in.
Here's one thing, right? When we're looking at these coaches, right? And I'll start with Ben Johnson because that's the hot name.
He is.
Obviously, we got a glimpse of how good he is at calling plays and, putting up. How many yards they put up on us, total yards today? Over 500, right? Had to be.
Total yards today, 336 passing, 146 rushing
just
today.
Missed 490.
Just missed it.
Just missed the 500. So here's my thing, right? He's a great play caller. He's creative. He's good in situations. But how many first-round draft picks do they have on an offensive line?
They're loaded. 4
That's
out of
what I'm
5,
saying. So it's a lot. It's offense. I mean, it's a lot easy for that offense to run when you have hogs up front.
Yes.
I mean, Jahmyr Gibbs is a great running back. Don't get me wrong. He's explosive. He can run with contact. He can catch out of the backfield. But some of them holes he's running through he's got some lanes on top of the ability that he has as a runner, right? That makes him effective, right? Then you see the play action. The play action works because you have a good running back. Why is all that working? What's the fuel?
Yeah.
Right? Premium, 93. All them hogs they got up front.
High octane.
So you bring Ben Johnson here, and I think the creativity's there. I think he's a good play caller, but how effective can he be if you don't have the hogs up front?
Listen, that is absolutely spot on. I guess the hope would be, and you don't know this for a fact, but the hope would be that if you did hire Ben Johnson, if he selected you because he is going to have his choice of where he probably wants to, coach, there'll be
100%.
several openings. We know of at least 3, and there's probably going to be, 6 or 7 when all is said and done at the end of the year. So he'll have some options. So will he choose the Bears if they choose him? I guess the hope would be, having seen how it works firsthand, that if he gets hired, would understand how critical it is to have the hogs up front and would make it a priority with his GM. Now, that's also the follow-up question is, who will be his GM? Will it be Ryan Poles? Will Kevin Warren, if they elect to go with Ben Johnson or try and convince him to take their job, if Ben Johnson says, listen, I like the gig, Caleb's great, I could get behind that, but I'd rather work with my guy, and so your guy has to go. Will Kevin Warren be okay with that? That's something we won't know until the season, wraps up and they start conducting their interviews.
I get it, right? You pair the head coach up with a guy that he's going to be on the same timeline with, but realistically, is that the kind of power you want to give a head coach coming into the building?
It depends on how much do you trust Ben Johnson. Kyle Shanahan got that deal in San Francisco.
Yeah, if that's your guy, like you ain't gonna hire a chef and you just pick out all the ingredients for him and tell him how to cook it. Why are you hiring the chef?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you really want Ben Johnson, then you got to listen to what he wants.
To your point, you don't necessarily want a power-hungry head coach who wants to be the GM as well. But if he's got a guy who he feels like he works with and can trust and who understands his vision for what he wants, the type of players he needs, then that might be a better working relationship. And at this point, especially if they close out an 11-game losing streak, and even if they break it, they've already lost 9 in a row.
Yeah.
I think there's real questions surrounding. We do it each week with Ryan Poles. It's insane that we're at this point where it feels so much worse than it did at the beginning of training camp.
Here's the thing, right? You're going to question Ben Johnson, who knows what offensive success looks like, right? And you're going to question him. No, you can't have your guy. You're going to have my guy. No, I'm Ben Johnson. I know what it looks like. Remember, I put up 500 on your defense.
Yeah,
500 on your defense. I know what it looks like. I know what powers my offense. I brought Jared Goff in here and dang near turned him into an MVP candidate.
Yep.
You talk about quarterback development, there's the proof. There's the proof right there. I know how to run a consistent offense. I know how to call plays. I know how to execute in critical situations.
Yeah.
I know how to develop a quarterback. They got rid of him out there in L.A., shipped him off to Detroit. What happened? He looks better than Stafford right now.
Yeah, no.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
And we're going to question. We want Ben Johnson, but we're going to tell you, you know what, Ben, you can come over here. You can run your offense, right? We're going to pick your ingredients. We're going to pick your GM. We're going to pick the lineman. No. It ain't going to work. Yeah. We're going to be in the same situation, and then we're going to be saying, let's get rid of Ben Johnson.
The only thing I'll say is, listen, if they identify him, Pat, as the guy they want, Ben Johnson will have the power to dictate if he wants his own GM. There's been rumors that Ray Agnew, who's I think second in command in Detroit, would be definitely open to going with Ben Johnson wherever he ends up. And so if that's what Ben Johnson demands, and I don't know, I don't think anybody knows if a guy's going to be a great head coach before he ever gets the opportunity to. That's unfortunately kind of the blind game you're playing as an NFL franchise. You hope you're getting it correct, but you never really know until they start coaching as your guy. And unfortunately, a lot of times that's too late.
And my only thing is that the only thing I want to see is you start to do things the right way. And listen, if you've got a head coach who can handle that kind of power, I'm fine with it. Yeah. For years, we saw Bill Belichick have that kind of power, and it worked well for him. Yep. We continue to see Kyle Shanahan, for the most part, have that kind of power, but it is some of those tough moments where, you've got to go out and make the hard decisions. The important part is having a head coach who can make those tough decisions. If you feel like Ben Johnson is the right guy, I'm fine with you giving Ben Johnson the power to maybe have more say in the building, but to give a head coach the power to remove your current GM, you have to be completely done with everything that he's done. That's kind of tough after it feels like he gave you the quarterback that you're looking for.
Key thing you said, you mentioned those two names. You mentioned Shanahan, you mentioned Belichick, right? Two guys, two coaches that know what success looks like, right? Because they saw success. Shanahan saw it from his dad, right?
Yeah.
Belichick saw it. Belichick saw it from Bill Parcells.
Yeah.
Belichick won 2 Super Bowls as defensive coordinator of Bill Parcells, and obviously we know what he did as a head coach. But they saw what success looked like, right? They had 2 good mentors to show them, how to be successful in this league. So my biggest thing when I'm looking at a coach, right, and there's a whole list of them, there's the hot names and stuff like that, I need a guy that's proven, but I need a guy that has seen what success looks like. It's tough to just have a guy come in here blind and say, okay, he's a hot coordinator, he can come and automatically run a team. No. He's only been running the offense.
Right.
Can he actually run a whole team? And that's my big – and I'm not saying Ben can't do that or Joe Brady or some of the other guys, some of the hot names.
You pivot to Mike Vrabel, though, right? Like there's a guy who has had success.
Yes.
He's shown it
that's
at
my
this
point.
level. And listen, I'm open to both. If Vrabel or Ben Johnson, I'm interested in both as options.
Vrabel probably brings McDaniels.
It sounds like,
but
Josh
Vrabel,
McDaniels.
right? He knows what success looks like as a coach, but he's also been a player.
Yeah.
Right. He knows the Patriot way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. We can say what we want about the Patriot way. Well, guess what? It worked. How many championships do they have?
Yeah.
Well, hey, J-Mac, more importantly, he's got the resume where he's actually done it already.
Yes.
Of course, it sounds like for him, Ohio State's a possibility if they get bounced.
It's a big possibility.
It's a strong possibility. He could replace
Yeah.
Ryan Day if they don't go on to win. Maybe Bears fans should be cheering for Ohio State to win the national title to keep Vrabel in play.
You need a guy, right? You need a coach that when he walks in the building, there's the respect factor is there. My rookie year, I was with the Dallas Cowboys, and guess who was the head coach? Guy by the name of Mr. Bill Parcells.
Oh, Mr. Parcells.
Mr. You are what your record is.
And when Bill walked down the hall, and I was walking the other way, and we're about to cross paths, I knew I had to go that way, but guess what? I made a U-turn because I was scared of Bill Parcells. Yeah. And every rookie was too. Why? Because you knew no matter how good a practice you had, he was going to say something to you that was going to challenge you each and every day.
Yeah.
You know how he did that? We at Valley Ranch, that was Valley Ranch back then, we had 3 practice fields. 2 practice fields. If we were on one practice field, he would have guys trying out in the other practice field. And he would walk through the stretch line telling all the rookies, hey, you know what, McKee? If you drop a pass today, you see them 4 guys over there trying out? They're going to have your locker. You talk about catching the ball and squeezing the air out of it. I mean, you catch that ball and squeeze the laces out of that football. And you see what I'm saying? That's the level of accountability and respect and leadership and
lit a fire under your ass, and I would imagine too that each and every time you were out there, your focus and concentration was at a heightened level.
I got another story that's to your point, Jeff. In practice, right? If you're not in the play and you're standing around watching the play, if Bill turned around and asked you what the play was and you didn't know it, guess what? Everybody had to run around all 3 of them practice fields. The whole team, veterans included.
Yeah.
You know how bad, you know how and you're a rookie too? You know how embarrassing it is? And you know you get in that locker room. And guess who was on that team with me? Dan Campbell. You talk about what success looks like, right? You don't think he didn't learn and goes offensive coordinator?
Absolutely.
Sean Payton was the offensive coordinator. It's working for Dan. It's working for Dan.
Hey, do you think Ben Johnson's picking up a few notes from Dan Campbell? Let's hope so.
That is the question, and I love Ben Johnson. I think he's the offensive mind that we need. Is he the head coach that we need? And it makes it more difficult when you're not given the perfect situation. Now,
that's what I'm saying.
When
it's a matter of
when
what
you've
you
seen
want.
what that situation looks like, you feel like you can get there. But I mean, realistically speaking, we bring Ben Johnson in here. How long are we waiting to get there with Caleb on a rookie contract? You got to get there pretty quick. You got to build an offensive line within a year or two. At a minimum, you got to find center and left tackle between now and the next 2 years.
The situation is, you want a head coach that's proven in Vrabel, or you want a guy that's a hot topic that can run an offense and bend, which you're not sure about, can be a head coach. I mean, it's just a matter of what you feel, and that goes back to the search committee. How can you evaluate and vet, Ben Johnson? Do you feel like he can lead a team and not just an offense?
And what are your priorities inside that building at Hallis Hall?
100%.
Are they willing to embrace a personality like Mike Vrabel, walking through the halls, who the rookies might be scared to walk past because they know they're going to be challenged? Maybe the ownership is scared to walk past Mike Vrabel because they don't want to be challenged by their head coach.
And that's what concerns me the most, dog. Like, if I'm being honest, right, and I know it sounds crazy, but, like, going back to Hard Knocks and seeing Hard Knocks now, the fact that they, like, cut all the curse words out, and I'm not saying I need to see an F-bomb flying around every other second for me to feel like it's a football locker room, but I was in the locker room. I heard what they were saying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I heard some of the words that was thrown out there. The fact that this team feels like, and this ownership currently feels like, mom is still here, and it feels like when you were a kid and you started cussing and you didn't want your mom to know you cussed. That's what the Bears feel like right now. Well, we don't want anybody who's going to be a little aggressive. We don't want anybody who's going to swear in front of mom. But you can't swear in front of mom. Whoa. Are you swearing on a football field? That's unheard of. We don't want anybody that's too aggressive towards our players and make them feel like maybe their feelings aren't valid today. We want to make sure that everybody gets a hug at the end of the day because mom wants us to. And at the end of the day, that's not how you win football games. Yeah. Nice guys usually aren't the best guys on the football field.
If your head coach is not demanding, right, if he's not setting the standard each and every day in terms of culture and the expectation and the way you practice, the way you lift, the way you do everything, then guess what? You're going to have the same results every single year.
Yeah.
And if ownership doesn't want that type of guy in the building, what's really going to change? I mean, let's be real. Like, that's insanity.
That's Jason McKee. I'm Jeff Meller, along with Pat the designer. That was a lot of us, so we'll get back to the phone calls. A lot of people want to weigh in on the Bears season. Obviously, bigger picture topics seem to be taking priority right now because how much can you bang your head against the wall continuing to talk about 9 straight losses. Here for you, 312-332-3776 on the home of the Bears, ESPN 1000.
The new home of the Chicago Bears.
The Bears and Seahawks, the final home game of the season, Thursday night. Join myself and Tom Thayer for the call live from Soldier Field starting at 7. Bears and Seahawks live from Soldier Field on the new home of the Bears, ESPN Chicago.
Presented by Hard Rock Casino, Northern Indiana.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control of your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problem now by calling the experts at U.S. Tax Shield and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, so call now. 800-687-5192. That's 800-687-5192. U.S. Tax Shield. 800-687-5192.
Hey, it's your friend Tom Waddle. Let me ask you, what would life look like without joint pain? Imagine walking up and down stairs, getting a good night's sleep, and enjoying your favorite activities without the nagging aches. QC Kinetics can make that a reality. Using regenerative medicine, they target the root cause of your pain. No pain pills, no steroids, and no surgery. Patients feel normal again and get back to doing what they love. Dr. Ashley Caravelli and her team at QC Kinetics are experts in helping people just like you. With treatments done right in the office and no downtime, you can get fast relief. And yes, they even offer Saturday appointments. If you've been told surgery is your only option, don't settle. Get a second opinion from QC Kinetics. The consultation is free, and you can even use your HSA or FSA dollars. Start 2025 pain-free. Call QC Kinetics today at 312-809-5955. That's 312-809-5955. QC Kinetics, because you deserve to live your best life.
With today's stress and uncertainty, drug and alcohol overdoses have drastically increased and taken too many lives. Don't risk losing someone you love. The problem may be worse than you think, and it won't get better unless you take action. You owe it to your family, and you owe it to yourself to get the help needed today before it's too late. Call Gateway Foundation, 855-925-GATE now. Gateway is here to help you and those you care about. Call 855-925-GATE. You can make a difference.
Do you have trouble getting in and out of the bathtub? Are you afraid you'll slip and fall entering or exiting a tub? Safe Step walk-in tubs can transform your bathtub from an area of concern to a calming refuge. Call them today at 1-800-731-4558 and save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult climb over a traditional bathtub wall. They also offer a variety of therapeutic benefits that may help soothe your aching muscles and joints, increasing your mobility, boosting your energy, and improving your sleep. Safe Step walk-in tubs are designed to easily fit your existing tub space and are often installed in as little as one day. Just dial 1-800-731-4558 today to save $1,600 and receive a free shower package. That's 1-800-731-4558 for a free no-obligation consultation and to save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs. Safety never felt so good.
Want to buy a vehicle in 60 minutes or less? Purchase your next vehicle in 60 minutes or less at Advantage Chevrolet Bridgeview, or your first car payment is on them. And every new Chevy comes with the Advantage Plus program. Together, let's drive. Restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
Post-game continues now on the new home of the Bears, ESPN Chicago. Here are your hosts, Jason McKee, Jeff Meller, and Pat the Designer.
The combo just keeps carrying straight on through to the breaks. Can't help ourselves.
We should have stayed live on YouTube.
I forgot we was on the show. I thought we was in the basement.
Losing our minds yet again. Taking your calls on the post-game show after a 34-17 Bears loss to the Lions at home at Soldier Field. They've got one more home game left on Thursday. Quick turnaround, day after Christmas. The Seattle Seahawks will come to town. The Seahawks right now just took the lead at home against the Vikings. They're on top 24-20. So we'll see how that one plays out. About 4.5 minutes to go in that one. We'll see if the Seahawks come in here off of a win or a loss, which will be critical for them because they're fighting for the NFC West division title, and the Rams already won today for them. So the Seahawks are going to need this one either way, and they're going to look at their schedule and be like, we need to beat the Bears in this game. So we'll see what happens as the Bills looks like grab a touchdown in their game. They are struggling with the Patriots, but they just grabbed a fumble at the goal line. That's going to be a touchdown. So the Bills have taken a 23. That was a backwards pass.
And
I'm like thrown off looking at it.
Hit off the running back forehead and for a fumble touchdown.
The Patriots were hanging tough, trying to remain in that game, but they are now trailing 23-14 with the PAT pending. Let's go to the phone lines. We've been monopolizing the time here, so let's check in with John, who's in Woodbridge. What's going on, John?
How you doing, guys? You want to know the biggest problem with the Bears is you need to go back to the 1980s, and I would really like the media to go back and look at the mysterious death of Muggsy Halas. You know, they talk about the Cubs being cursed. I am not a private investigator, but if you go and look...
Oh, boy. I don't know where... Careful, John. I don't know where you're going here, buddy. I don't know what you're trying to insinuate.
Look at the Chicago Tribune. The Chicago Tribune came out with this, and look it up. Foul play was suspected with the death of Muggsy Halas. So do with that what you can, but I'm telling you, the Bears are cursed, and it's a legitimate curse, unlike the Cubs with the Billy Goat. This guy's haunting us from the grave.
So what John brings up, Muggsy Halas, George Halas' son, was always kind of dubbed the natural successor to take over the team once George Halas died. But obviously, Muggsy died fairly young, and obviously that never could take place. And so a lot of people thought that once Muggsy passed, so did a lot of the football knowledge in that family. That's kind of what our buddy
let's say
John
that's what he was insinuating.
I don't want to go any deeper than that.
What's in his cup?
What's going on with the next caller?
Yeah, what's in his
Try
cup?
Chase. Hey, Chase. What's going on, bud? Good to see you the other day, Chase. What's up, man?
What up, Chase?
Not much, man. How you guys doing? Happy holidays to you.
Hey, I'm a Bears fan.
Happy
I'm doing
holidays,
as good
Chase.
as I can, man.
I'm doing great.
Yeah, Mel, it was good. Yeah, Mel, it was good seeing you the other night, man. I really enjoyed myself seeing you guys at the holiday party. So listen, man, watching this game, you don't know how many times I screamed at the top of my lungs every time a Bears player kept jumping off sides or there was a penalties. It's just, this team is just, they don't do nothing right. They're undisciplined. They make stupid mistakes. They just don't do nothing right. And you just watch them. It's just frustrating. And you got to go back to polls. This all falls on him. How many coaches got to get fired? Look, this all falls on him. He was the one that put this roster together. He was the one that made the draft choices. He's the one that made the contract. He was the one that neglected the O-line and the D-line. So this all falls on him. Yeah. He was the one that decided to bring the head coach back. He was the foreseer over the Waldron and the Getsy hire. This all is on his feet.
Yeah.
This falls at his feet, and he needs to – And McKee, I got to ask you something. This is something that I really don't understand why the Bears don't do this. And I know you sit there and you watch these games more up close and personal when you are at the game.
Yep.
When the offense takes the field, we always wonder, why does the offense get off to these slow starts? Why do they not a rhythm? And as you watch it, why don't they ever, run more bootleg or, I know the first play, it's like they run the same play over and over again. It's like I could call it. They'll run a shotgun, hand off the slip, know you gain. Play a short pass to Keenan Allen, nothing, and then 3 and out. It's like the same thing. They never run nothing creative. They don't try to run a bootleg, move the pocket. It's the same thing, and I don't understand it. I guess it's the fact they don't have a running game, I think, is a problem. But these are the things that I'm sensing over and over again, why the offense consistently get off these slow starts. Again, you guys have a good night, and Merry Christmas to you and your families.
Thank you, Chase.
You too, Chase. Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, I think it's just, when you look at the plan offensively, right? And I'm not talking about the game plan. I'm talking about your plan in terms of each drive, right? So on first down, right, what is my goal on first down? My goal, first and second down, my goal is to get 6 yards, so that way I'm always in third and short. You know what I mean? If I get 3 yards on first down, second down's an adjuster down because I know I got to get 6 yards. So I know I got to get 3 yards on second down, so that way I'm third and short. You know what I mean? That's what I mean. What is the formula? What is the plan? They did run a couple bootlegs. DJ had one. They got creative a little bit on the goal line in terms of the Cole Kmet touchdown where they went. They brought in Kramer's replacement. I forget his name. But normally, they would run power or they run ISO with Kramer. They brought in his backup because he was inactive. They went play action. That's why Cole was wide open. I thought that was a good creative call. But like you said, though, to keep trying to run that counter with DJ who fumbled, Rome fumbled on there. You ran it 3 times. You had 2 fumbles out of that same play. It is frustrating. I don't understand. It's just a matter of what are you trying to do each drive? What are you trying to – I'm trying to make sure that my young quarterback's always in third and short. I know it's not possible, but that's the goal. That should be – I don't know what the goal is each drive.
Yeah, no, 100%. The biggest concern.
Glazer.
That's what. Yeah, Glazer. Yep.
Yeah.
I couldn't. That's who it was. Yep.
Glazer. I had to look through the.
I had it too, and we talked about him on there, but that cold weather and the beating we took it at him.
Yeah. That's all right. We don't have to worry about Doug Kramer's replacement.
Yeah. No, my big concern with the Bears getting off to these slow starts is, just like Chase said, it seems to be the same things over and over again.
Yeah.
And I get it. Thomas Brown putting it in a tough spot.
Yep.
You're not going to go out there and turn everything around when you've got as many people checked out on this team as I think that you do. I think if you had 110% buy-in coming into every game, then you would probably see the Bears play better, which is why you see the Detroit Lions on the other side. While, yes, they do have more talent on the offensive end, defensively, what is it, 18 players on IR, 18 starters on IR?
I believe 19.
19 on IR defensively. But they're all still bought in. They all still believe. They don't care that they're the backup. Now I'm the starter. Now I get my opportunity to put my name on this season that we believe still can be a championship-level season. You got guys who are supposed to be the focal points of your team. And it looks like they're not giving you 100% effort. Listen, I love Cole Kmet. I think that he can be a really nice player. I think he had a good connection with Caleb Williams when he was getting the ball consistently. But now that you're not getting the ball consistently, that doesn't mean play like a fried turd on a block.
Here's the big problem as well, right? We talk about it, but I don't think we emphasize it enough. The run game. Detroit, 146 yards rushing. The Bears, 59 total yards rushing.
Yeah.
And that's against, like you talked about, Pat, a defense that has 19 guys on IR. Was that the number you just said?
Yeah, 19 guys.
You can't run the ball against that. You ain't going to run the ball Thursday. You ain't going to run the ball against Green Bay.
You said
that's a major problem.
You said it earlier, J-Mac, and I could not agree more when you said, like, I expected more from the Bears offense today.
I expect.
I'm with you because it's the same thing. Like if you're not going to get the Lions today, the way they're beaten up defensively, like, who are you going to get? And not committing to the run, like finding yourself trailing 17-0 before you can even blink.
This was supposed to be a get-right game for the offense.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to feel good about ourselves after this game because we know that they got – guys that were watching us play the previous week on the couch, and they're out here and they're stopping the run.
And listen,
second quarter.
Yeah, listen, it was nice to see again Keenan Allen have another nice game, really productive, 9 for 141. But ultimately, I don't know what this means because I can't see a scenario where Keenan Allen's going to be brought back at a number that's going to be both, appealing to him and the Bears. It would really surprise me because you've got Rome, you've already got DJ Moore signed to a long-term deal, and we've already been over all the patchwork you need to do to fill in on the line here. You need to commit some assets, not just draft capital, but probably some of your money too. So I can't see. So Keenan Allen, good to see it, but at the same time, it's like you'd almost rather him, develop some better chemistry with guys like Rome Odunze setting up for next year. But we'll see, because maybe it's all irrelevant anyway if they're going to have a new play caller. We'll see. 312-332-3776, taking your calls. Plenty to go, another hour with you guys. Also going to let you hear from Ben Johnson earlier this week when he was asked about Caleb Williams, and we'll let you hear what the Lions offensive coordinator thinks of the Bears rookie quarterback. We'll do that when we return on ESPN 1000.
Chicago. Here comes the boom. The Chicago Bears podcast. Here comes the boom. If you aren't listening, you're not getting the whole story. Join host Pat the Designer with special guests and guest host daily. See it or hear it now on the ESPN Chicago app or wherever you like to pod. Yeah.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control of your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problem now by calling the experts at U.S. Tax Shield and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, so call now. 800-687-5192. That's 800-687-5192. U.S. Tax Shield. 800-687-5192.
Do you have trouble getting in and out of the bathtub? Are you afraid you'll slip and fall entering or exiting a tub? Safe Step walk-in tubs can transform your bathtub from an area of concern to a calming refuge. Call them today at 1-800-731-4558 and save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult climb over a traditional bathtub wall. They also offer a variety of therapeutic benefits that may help soothe your aching muscles and joints, increasing your mobility, boosting your energy, and improving your sleep. Safe Step walk-in tubs are designed to easily fit your existing tub space and are often installed in as little as one day. Just dial 1-800-731-4558 today to save $1,600 and receive a free shower package. That's 1-800-731-4558 for a free no-obligation consultation and to save $1,600. Safe Step Walk-in Tubs. Safety never felt so good.
This is ESPN Chicago, WNVP, WTBC, HD2 Chicago, a Good Karma Brands radio station. Welcome back to Bears Postgame. Here are your hosts, Jason McKee, Jeff Meller, and Pat the Designer on the new home of the Chicago Bears, ESPN Chicago.
Bears fall to 4-11 after the 15th game of the season. 2 remaining, including Thursday night against the Seattle Seahawks. The Seahawks now chasing the Vikings right now. They trail 27-24. About 2 minutes left in that game. The Seahawks have the ball, but it's 4th and 15 from their 42. I'm sorry, from the Vikings 42. So probably a little far for a game-tying field goal. We'll see what they attempt to do, but that one is coming down to the wire. The Bears' next opponent the day after Christmas. I'm Jeff Meller, along with Jason McKee and Pat the Designer. We're taking your calls here on ESPN 1000. Let's go on out to Mark, who's in River Forest. What's going on, Mark?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
What's going on?
Hey, Mark.
Another pathetic day. You know, just it's a team that never can evolve with the modern day offense. Whether it's back in 86, 87, always a year or two behind. I don't know what it is. I mean, yeah, I just think they got a great defense all the time, but always have a lackluster offense. You know, and it just.
Well, Mark, we hit on it a little bit earlier. You know, when you don't invest in the offensive line and the defensive line, you're always going to, it's not hard. Let's be honest. The formula for winning football, yes, you obviously
finding them is hard.
You want a franchise quarterback.
Yeah.
They're harder to find, but if you don't actually invest the high capital in them, you make it harder to find them. You know what I'm saying?
No, for sure. It's a lot easier to realize that maybe the $3 million guy is not as talented as the $10 million guy. Like that's kind of crazy to say, but if I can get away with paying you $1.5 million to come in here over 2, you probably don't believe in yourself that much.
Where you go, right? We're going to bring in number 1 overall pick at quarterback, right? A rookie quarterback we want to set up for success. How do we protect him? We got to be able to run the ball, and we got to be able to protect him in pass protection.
Yeah.
That's the formula.
And you can't do either. By the way, you did promote the guy who couldn't protect the last guy who was here to your run game coordinator. Just some thought. Maybe you need to figure that out as well.
We have a surprise caller on the line who wants to say hello. Caller, you're on the line with Pat the Designer, Jeff Meller, and Jason McKee.
Who do we got?
Who are we talking to?
Hi, you're talking to Jason McKee's parents.
Oh, we got moms in the building.
Finally, some good news on this post-game show.
Don't tell no story now.
Mama McKee.
Jeff,
How y'all doing?
Merry Christmas.
Thank you, ma'am.
We need it after that game.
You guys are doing a great job doing the analysis. I think we need a new GM up there in Chicago.
Look, Pat, you're doing a great job. Jeff, you're doing a great job. Son, you got to step the game up.
Oh. I'm going to fire myself.
We need some.
Y'all are doing so good. I mean, I appreciate everything y'all are saying. Just wanted to say Merry Christmas to our son. Look, we ain't getting no gift, so this is our gift.
That's the best kind of gift, in my opinion. I've lived long enough where I recognize that those are the best gifts, the heartfelt ones.
Mama McKee, I know you've been giving J-Mac tips on his game his whole career. What he got to upgrade on the sidelines here and on the post-game show? What you need to see him do more of?
Manager.
Oh, they got the radio.
Oh, they have the radio going.
Always.
We appreciate your call.
We'll say happy.
Always. We love you guys. We watching y'all right now.
Love y'all too. Happy holidays.
Guys, guys. Merry Christmas. Y'all all are doing so well. Love you guys. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, the McKees. Merry Christmas
man.
from them to everyone out there.
That's the best call we could have got today.
Man. They listen. I told you they listen, man. They listen.
Your dad definitely shouted out Yurko in the background.
I told you he loves Yurko.
I definitely heard him shout out Yurko a little bit
every
in the
day,
background there.
Called me and texted me. He's like, "Did you hear what Yurko said today?"
Each and every day. Let's check in with Jordan, who's in Maryville. What's going on, Jordan? You're on the Post.
What's happening, Jordan?
How's it going, fellas?
What's going on?
Hey, you know what? It was the old saying. You said, be careful what you wish for.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I found myself watching this game. I said, man, I wish Eberflus was back. I'm serious, fellas. Hey, I know I'm not the only Bears fan that thought that.
Man, that's
There's
funny.
no way this defense would be this bad in these last 3 games. I know it wasn't the greatest when he in his last couple of games, but this is just awful. You know, we could talk about the offense and how bad the offense is and everything, but when the defense allows a score every single drive, come on, like what is the offense going to do? You know what I'm saying? Only reason they didn't give up a score every single drive in the first half is because they kicked the 60-yard field goal.
They had,
you know, so you know it's just bad. You know, so you know I know the offense. We all know what the problems are. You got to fix the trenches. You got to fix the offensive line and defensive line. That's where you got to put your money at, and you know, and go from there. And I got one question for you guys.
Let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
Jaquan Brisker.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, you know we all believe he's a very good player. Did he really mean that much to this defense? Because if you really think about it, Eberflus used him in a box all the time.
Yeah,
he was coming on the blitzing and pass rush. He cleaned up a lot of mess in the box with running backs, and you know what I mean.
Yeah,
so
sure.
he cleaned up a lot of mess. So is that one of the biggest problems we're having? Is he that important to this defense?
I think he is. I think when you look at it, right, when you look at this Bears defense, and I look at it from, you know, an offensive coordinator, if you're watching film or you're scouting this defense, right, when I'm watching film, I'm looking at this defense and I'm saying, who are the tone setters?
Yeah.
Who are the guys that I got to put that red dot on when I'm watching film, okay? Who establishes the physicality on this defense? Okay, we can say T.J. Edwards, yes, for sure.
Yeah.
But on the back end, who is it? It was Jaquan Brisker.
No doubt.
And he's not there.
Yeah.
He's not there. On the defensive line, I really don't know who it is.
Kwani B. Yeah, you know, the interesting thing for me is that Brisker, he's going to be entering his 4th and final year of his contract. I suspect he's going to want to be paid handsomely, right? And we'll see if Ryan Poles is still in charge. The one thing I've been concerned about with Ryan Poles at times is I wonder, does he look at signing a player like Jaquan Brisker to a big money deal also as validation for him as a GM for quote unquote finding him, right? Like as a playmaker. I think you have to divorce yourself from that and assess, is a guy who ended the season on injured reserve because of concussions somebody who plays safety, by the way, who it's not going to go away in terms of hitting and seeking out contact? Is this somebody that I should be investing a big money deal in? It's cold-hearted, I get it, but it's something that if you're a good GM in this league, you have to look at and truly ask yourself that question. I don't know what the plan is with Jaquan Brisker, and I really think it will be determined by whether or not Ryan Poles is the GM or if they choose to go somewhere else. Because if it is someone else, I could very easily see them saying, listen, you're a good player, Jaquan, but we just can't invest the money that you're looking for. And I could see him hitting free agency if Poles is not brought back. If Poles is brought back, though, I think he definitely wants to keep the guy who he drafted in the fold for the long term.
The biggest question on that for me, too, is, you know, when you look at Jaquan, and we started this talking about leadership, what does Jaquan mean to this team as far as holding them together? Since Jaquan has been gone, we have seen Tyreek Stevenson turn into a shell of the player that we thought that he could be. We have seen this defense absolutely collapse in the run game because it's constantly being run to the side of the field that he was going to be on. And the back-end protection, Jonathan Owens, my God. Look up. This is the worst game I think I've seen from him as a member of the Chicago Bears team. And I do wonder, not to say that I think that you have to overvalue Jaquan, but is he that guy that we're talking about who keeps everybody accountable, keeps everybody in line? Because since that, week 6, I think Jaquan is the last time that we saw him. Week 6 he went out.
And that's a great point.
Since that, this defense has legitimately been one of the worst defenses in the NFL in just about every stat that you can be.
I think when you're looking at this evaluation, whether Poles comes back as a GM or you hire a new GM, the question with Jaquan Brisker is going to be his availability.
Yes.
Like, you're going to pay for availability, which he hasn't been here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're not going to pay,
and he's not finishing games.
High-level money for a safety that's not available. And I love Jaquan Brisker.
Yeah.
I love his
when
game.
he's on the field.
I love him as a person. I think he's a bona fide dog.
He's amazing. Yeah.
But when you look at the business side of things, right, you're gonna look for something that's reliable, that's available. Just like buying a car. I'm not buying a car that's going to be on the side of the road. I'm not investing in that. I got to go find a car that when I put my key in the ignition, crank it up, it's going to start. It's going to be available. It's the same thing.
Well, and the problem is you have that on both sides.
Yeah.
Right? You have to ask that. It's a serious question to me with Jaquan. It's not like you go find another Jaquan Brisker out there just willy-nilly. We can see that the Bears are struggling to do that with people that they have in their own building. On the flip side of that, we got to find 4 offensive linemen next year, guys, except we may be able to keep one who there's massive questions on, but we know he can play. Can you just walk away from Tevin Jenkins and say, going into next year where you literally have 4 holes on the offensive line, one of those holes being because of his often injured spot, can you walk away and say, we're going to find 4 offensive linemen next year that can replace all of the talent that we didn't have on the field this year? I think that's a tough conversation to have. I'm not saying Tevin Jenkins or Jaquan Brisker should be the highest paid players at their position, but you got a lot more holes than you thought you were going to have going into next season. It may be tough to just turn your back and say, well, that guy's always hurt, so it's not worth him being out there. Because you saw what the other option is. By the way, the other option at guard was supposed to be Ryan Bates. He's hurt. Your other options beside that just aren't talented enough to be on an NFL football field. And it's amazing to me that remember, this team's supposed to be hard to make. It's amazing to me that they made the team. It's supposed to be hard to make. My left foot.
Yeah, I mean, Larry Borum got banged up towards the end of the game, and I got real worried. I was like, well, who's going in now?
Well, it wasn't going to be Amagashi because he was inactive. No, listen, I was thinking the exact same thing. Like, what is your all right,
who's going in?
They just put Cole Kmet and Mercedes Lewis both on the left side, and they just attack, double team. No, I think the Bears, in Bears fans' minds, it feels like you just address this and it's good. And I keep saying this: it ain't Madden. You can't just go buy a 78 overall, contrary to what the Jets owner believes.
Man.
Contrary to what the Jets owner believes, you can't just go look at Madden scouting ratings and plug that guy in and he's going to be talented. You know what I mean? Like, I think you're in a tough situation to where you may have to look at some money decisions that got to be made this offseason and go, I know Tevin's not going to be healthy. I know he's going to miss
I don't know,
5 or 6 games. Yeah, we have no choice but to at least re-sign this guy for a couple of years.
I don't know what the money. That's all going to be about how much he wants, how much he can command in free agency.
100%.
It's not even just that he doesn't finish games. You know what I mean? Like, it's too frequent that he leaves games and does not return. And that puts you. It'd be one thing if it was like, okay, he misses 3 or 4 games, but then he gets back out there. How many games? I'll have to go and do some research on that to see how many games he has failed to finish. But there's too many. There's a lot that I remember him not being able to finish.
My only fix right now would be you have to move him to the right side. You have no choice. You saw him be good on the right side. You have to move him to the right side. You need consistency on your left side of the line.
Yeah, but listen.
You need to protect Caleb Williams' backside because how many times in a game do you sit there? I don't know if you watched on TV today, but all day today I was like, Caleb's about to die. And he would, step up, do one of those, we always say it's like the Three Stooges scramble. Like, whoop, 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 whoop. Like, he just gets out of the way. Like, his backside is so open.
Yeah, I don't know if this,
that was crazy.
What'd you say?
That was crazy.
What'd
I'm
you
not
say?
going to lie to you.
What are
I'm
you
not gonna
saying?
lie to you.
Easy.
Hey, we're going to keep it moving along there. That was crazy.
I was concerned. He did
Throw a flag on you.
That was nuts.
He got out of the
Penalty.
pocket. He got out of the pocket on
Personal
one play.
foul, Pat.
Picked up like 7 or 8 yards. Then did like a slow motion spin and took a shot to the back.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, he's trying to do too much all the time when he's evading the rushers. That's the one thing when I'm still watching him when he's escaping the pocket.
Man,
he's still doing too much. Too many spins. Yeah. It's like
when you watch Jeff, when you watch the Bears offense, right, and you watch Caleb's pocket in the passing game, and you sit there and you watch Jared Goff's pocket, like
my God,
it's night and day.
Yeah. No doubt.
No wonder, and their stats are identical.
Yeah,
I mean, which is unbelievable. I just tell you the talent.
Still, it's crazy
that Caleb has.
It's hilarious that he's still over 300 passes now without an interception.
Yeah, he got beat up, man.
Yeah. But like I'm saying, he's putting together a hell of a statistical anomaly in terms of finding ways, and this is not his fault, but the Bears are finding ways to lose without Caleb Williams turning the ball over. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, he's a tough guy, man. I mean, he came off the field after that last drive, after the last series to end the game, and I mean his tights, like they're ripped around his knee. He's like hobbling off. I mean, he's a tough guy. There's one thing you can't question.
There's no doubt about it. And you know what? Before we go to break, I promised this. Ben Johnson, Detroit Lions offensive coordinator, potentially a candidate to come in and be the next head coach of the Bears if they choose to go in that direction. If he chooses to go in that direction, he was asked about Caleb Williams earlier this week.
Caleb Williams, just from your assessment of him, number 1 pick, do you think he's got a skill set that maybe a new coach would find appealing? What you've seen from his performance?
Listen, it's been difficult to sit down and just study every throw, but plenty of crossover tape over the course of the year, and there's no question this guy's talented. I remember standing on the sideline last game, and just you can hear the ball whistle by you. He's got quite a fastball and has some creativity to him, can extend plays, and is accurate down the field as well. So, like I said, I haven't really dove in and can tell you much more beyond that, but he's been impressive from afar.
So there's Ben Johnson talking about Caleb Williams. A lot of praise there for him, and it's the one good thing the Bears have going. It, in my opinion, is the reason why, when all is said and done, and all the head coaching changes have been made, at least in regards to the openings that are there and available, it's why I believe the Bears will be the most desirable situation for almost all of the head coaching candidates, is because they have Caleb Williams in place, and what we've seen from him this year, even though it hasn't been perfect, there's a lot of good to look at. And with everything that's going on wrong around him, that's the optimistic, positive piece for the Bears.
Yeah, I mean, he's super talented. Yeah. He's got everything that you wanted him to have, or that you thought he would have when you drafted him. His game does translate. He may not be able to do a lot of things he did at USC in terms of running around, but we saw him run around today. He did a lot of the same things. And
he's still evasive enough, you know what I mean?
I mean, some of the passes he made, like the touchdown he threw to Keenan,
he finally hit a whole shot.
Yeah.
Oh man, and then you look back at and I don't think I asked him this in our interview, but it was 4th and 1, the one he threw to Rome.
Beautiful.
It was man coverage.
Yeah.
Like it's 4th and 1. I'm like, they're going empty. They go empty, and I'm like, I'm nervous. I'm biting my nails. I'm like, oh man, here we go. You need 1 yard. They go spread empty. And he just puts the ball up there, 50-50 ball to Rome. Rome comes down with it. Like, that was encouraging, right? 2 young guys who are the pillars of this offense, the pillars of this organization, making the play when you need it on 4th and 1. So those are the positives, the takeaways that you come away from the game and you say, you know what? We did get it right with Caleb. We got it right with Rome. Now, the question with Rome is, and we've talked about this plenty of times, Pat and Jeff, Rome is a great player. He's going to be a great receiver. But at that spot, should you have taken an offensive lineman? That's the only thing. Yeah, I mean, hindsight's 20/20. I know, but that's and I think Rome's awesome. He's going to be great.
The Rome pick never hurt me though. It's the fact that you did nothing else after that. Yeah. It's the fact that you went into training camp and look, how many weeks did we on the podcast when Jeff would come on? We go, gotta sign an offensive lineman, right? Gotta sign an offensive lineman. How many weeks did we
Kept waiting,
and it never happened.
No, but the good news is, what the problem is, next head coach. You know exactly what you need to address. It's pretty apparent. So hopefully the Bears can hire someone who can identify that portion, both on offense and defense. The lines, the hogs and dogs, as we were talking about earlier. We'll take a quick time out and take your calls, 312-332-3776, right here on the home of the Chicago Bears, ESPN 1000.
The new home of the Bears.
The Bears and Seahawks, the final home game of the season, Thursday night. Join myself and Tom Thayer for the call live from Soldier Field starting at 7. Bears and Seahawks live from Soldier Field on the new home of the Bears, ESPN Chicago.
Presented by Hard Rock Casino, Northern Indiana.
Every 40 seconds, a child is reported missing. That's 2,000 children every single day. It's a heart-wrenching reality that we can no longer ignore. Find the Children is a non-profit organization dedicated to helping find missing kids. You can be a part of their mission by donating your unwanted vehicle, running or not. Call 1-800-294-0222. We guarantee that you will receive the maximum tax deduction. We provide fast, free pickup with 24-hour response. Call 1-800-294-0222. Find the Children provides crucial resources to help find missing children and educational materials to teach kids how to recognize and avoid predators. Our recovery programs have a proven track record of reuniting kids with their families. It's time to act. Donate your unwanted or unused car. Help us build a world where every child is safe. Pick up the phone and call 1-800-294-0222. Together, we can bring these kids home safely. This advertisement was paid for in partnership with Cars R Us and Find the Children.
Caesars Sportsbook is the only sportsbook app with Caesars rewards. Win or lose, every bet you place brings you closer to the types of perks only Caesars can offer. Download the app using promo code RADIODYW and place your first bet of $1 or more for a chance to double your winnings on your next 10 bets. 21 or older new users in Illinois. Max bet $25 for boosted winnings. Max additional winnings $2,500 per bet. Profit boost tokens expire 14 days after receipt. For terms, see Caesars.com/promos. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. This holiday season, give the gift of inclusion. Special Olympics Illinois provides life-changing opportunities for children and adults with intellectual disabilities through sports, health programs, and leadership training. Your donation empowers athletes to achieve their dreams on and off the field. Every dollar makes a difference, funding competitions, equipment, and support for a community of more than 55,000 statewide. Visit SpecialOlympicsIllinois.org today to make your impact. Donate now and choose to include this holiday season.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that maintains a job bank, provides employment information, or gives job referrals, you may request to be placed on the station's mailing list for future career opportunities. To learn more about careers at Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
Are you ready to make a difference for the environment while helping the visually impaired at the same time? Then donate your vehicle to Heritage for the Blind today by calling 1-800-983-6530. Every donated vehicle will either be properly recycled in an eco-friendly manner or given a new life through reuse. Donating your vehicle is easy. Simply call 1-800-983-6530 and Heritage for the Blind will do the rest. They'll even arrange for your vehicle to be picked up at no cost to you. And for a limited time, when you donate your car, you'll receive a $200 restaurant voucher and a 2-night, 3-day hotel stay at one of 50 locations. Call 1-800-983-6530 right now to schedule your vehicle donation and make a positive impact on the environment while helping others. Heritage for the Blind, where every car donation counts and every person makes a difference. Call 1-800-983-6530 now. This advertisement is paid for by Heritage for the Blind.
Want a great deal on an oil change? Go to CarX Tire and Auto and get a full-service Valvoline oil change from just $29.99. That's right, $29.99 for a full-service Valvoline oil change. Only at CarX Tire and Auto.
Hey, it's your friend Tom Waddle. Let me ask you, what would life look like without joint pain? Imagine walking up and down stairs, getting a good night's sleep, and enjoying your favorite activities without the nagging aches. QC Kinetics can make that a reality. Using regenerative medicine, they target the root cause of your pain. No pain pills, no steroids, and no surgery. Patients feel normal again and get back to doing what they love. Dr. Ashley Caravelli and her team at QC Kinetics are experts in helping people just like you. With treatments done right in the office and no downtime, you can get fast relief. And yes, they even offer Saturday appointments. If you've been told surgery is your only option, don't settle. Get a second opinion from QC Kinetics. The consultation is free, and you can even use your HSA or FSA dollars. Start 2025 pain-free. Call QC Kinetics today at 312-809-5955. That's 312-809-5955. QC Kinetics, because you deserve to live your best life.
continues now on the new home of the Bears, ESPN Chicago. Here are your hosts, Jason McKee, Jeff Meller, and Pat the Designer.
Welcome back to the Bears post-game show. Bears lose 34-17 at home to the Detroit Lions today. They'll get back at it against the Seattle Seahawks on Thursday evening, Thursday Night Football on Amazon Prime. Of course, you can hear the call right here on your home of the Bears, ESPN Chicago. They'll take on the Seahawks, and the Seahawks lose to the Vikings, so the Seahawks now fall a game back of the Rams in their pursuit of the NFC West crown. The Seahawks are 8-7. The Rams are 9-6. Those two teams play each other on the final week of the year, so the NFC West is going to be up for grabs. But the Seahawks will definitely need to win this game on Thursday night when they come in and take on the Bears on Soldier Field. And the Bears, of course, have lost 9 straight. So what will they be able to do on a short week with the Seahawks coming in on the road during a holiday week? It's a tough task for the Seahawks. It's an opportunity for the Bears to try and finally snap this long losing streak.
Yeah, we've been saying that for how many weeks?
Well, we've been saying it for at least trying to snap the streak. We've been saying it for at least 7 or 8.
Every week we say opportunity.
Was priceless. Yeah.
Opportunity to get back after a bad loss in the desert. Opportunity to get back, against the Patriots. Opportunity to get back against this team. You got to take advantage of the opportunity. I don't know.
All the opportunity is at this point is to feel good at the fact that Caleb Williams is still alive and is going out there and putting up good yardage, putting up some points, and doing all that he can to try and keep this thing on track.
I'm taking advantage of the opportunity to not travel during Christmas. This is a home game.
There you go, buddy.
Man. I'm taking advantage. It's a good opportunity for me just to be able to get in my truck and drive home after the game.
Yeah, a little Lambo action on the final day. You can ride right back.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's not bad.
Speaking of, so we're talking about, an opportunity to snap the streak that we've been talking about. How about this streak that the Bears can try and snap?
Oh, boy.
This is from Carmen DeFalco. He texted, the last time the Bears have played with a lead, it was the first quarter against the Vikings on Sunday, November 24th. That's the last time this Bears team had a lead in a football game.
Oh, my goodness.
They fall behind almost like instantaneously. Whether if they start the game with the ball, they go 3 and out, or they turn the ball over, and then as soon as the opposition gets the ball, they score a touchdown. It seems like
you're in a bad spot. I mean, you've got guys like J Mac always said, one foot on the field, one foot in the sand. I don't know if DJ Moore meant it that way, but
I've been there before. I've had one cleat on and one vacation slipper on.
For those who missed it, this was DJ Moore on Wednesday during the locker room portion with the media when he was asked about this season.
DJ, how just tough is this season?
Not tough at all. I'm lying, but it's been tough, frustrating. Definitely with this losing streak, but it's football. Some team got to win, and it hasn't been us. Yeah, we need to figure it out. Maybe not this year, but at the beginning of next year, we definitely need to figure it out before we play a real game.
The off season, I mean, that has to be something you guys are already thinking about in terms of get it right. And what kind of ideas do you have when you think about the off season already and making it better?
What I'm thinking about? Vacation.
To clear your mind of all this?
There you go. Yeah. Let them do all the work and then, just come back and ready to go.
Don't take the bait, DJ. Don't take the bait.
But, I mean, what's he supposed to say? I get it. I get it. Everybody's going to lose their
mind.
What
am I thinking about? I'm thinking about Detroit. I'm thinking about Seattle.
But the question was, what are you thinking about this offseason? He can't fix the team. He can't go out and draft offensive linemen. He can't go out. What's he supposed to do? Is he supposed to say, yes, I'm thinking about kicking in Ryan Pohl's door, packing his bags, and getting them the heck up out of there? I get it. We want to be mad about something.
I'm not mad about it.
I'm not saying us. I'm just saying because on the Twitter spaces, the outrage was everywhere.
You can never question his passion.
He's one of the hardest workers on the team.
Yes.
And my biggest thing is, if you listen to the question, he's answering with what he's thinking about for the offseason. We know that DJ Moore is going to put in work this offseason. We know that he's going to be catching balls with Caleb Williams this offseason. We know they're going to have throwing sessions. We know he's going to be one of the leaders in getting some of that stuff done. There's no question about that. When you ask him, what are you looking for this offseason to get some answers for the team, there's nothing he can do to answer, I don't know, let's maybe go draft it. Like if he answers with any position thing, I think we need to attack the center position. Now he's throwing teammates under the bus. Now he's throwing Ryan Poles under the bus. Now we're attacking him for that.
The only thing I'll say is it's so easy to just say, I'm just looking to get better, doing what I can to make myself the best possible. It's so easy. Listen, you're right. It doesn't really ultimately affect anything, but you do wonder in those moments when you're just being asked a simple question and you choose to say that out loud, what's your investment commitment to this team? I don't know. It was an odd choice to say, that's going to trigger a lot of people who are listening. Why do you choose to do it?
Answering the question of what are you looking to fix this offseason?
Well, no.
How was the question phrased?
PJ, how just tough is this?
It's after this question here. Hold on.
Not tough at all.
I love his sarcasm.
I am, but it's been tough.
He said
frustrating.
I'm lying.
Definitely with this losing streak, but it's football. Some team got to win, and it hasn't been us. Yeah, we need to figure it out. Maybe not this year, but at the beginning of next year, we definitely need to figure it out before we play a real game.
The off season, it has to be something you guys are already thinking about in terms of get it right. And what kind of ideas do you have when you think about the off season already and making it better?
What I'm thinking about? Vacation.
There it is.
What kind of ideas in the off season do you have to make it better?
To make this team better. Yeah. Vacation ain't gonna make the team better.
He chose to go down that road for whatever reason.
I think that is one of the bigger DJ Moore overreactions of this season.
Yeah, but
to me,
look, J-Mac, it's a cliche.
No,
that you've already got the car started in the parking lot. You're ready to go. The old 1, 2, 3 Cancun. They're cliches. But they're cliches for a reason because there's elements of truth to it, and we're not even in
for sure.
Week 18. This is ahead of Week 16's game.
But this is my question. What's the better answer? When somebody asks you, what ideas do you have to fix this offseason? What's the better answer?
I got to make sure that I'm better. I got to make sure you always deflect to yourself. You're in a position of leadership. I've got to do better.
I'm going to do everything I can.
I've got to be a better leader. I've got to make more plays.
I'm going to do everything I can to make sure this season doesn't happen again.
I got to bring the young guys with me to work out so that way we can be better.
Almost anything other than vacation, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. But whatever. Listen, it doesn't ultimately.
He's a dog, so he's DJ's going to make plays. We know he's going to do that. But I think with him, along with other guys on this team, to overcome the deficiencies you have, a lot of guys have to be a multiplier, not just the quarterback, right? Because despite a lot of holes that we have on this roster, you can't fill them all via the draft and free agency. So what do you have to do, right? It's development with the coaches, but it's also the players have to do their part, especially the leaders, in terms of bringing these young guys along, helping them develop. And how do they do that? Making sure that they're holding them accountable in terms of making sure they put in the work. You know what I'm saying? Making sure that, hey, we got to get together in the offseason to make sure that we're working on our craft. Like, those are things that you would have to work on in the offseason because all the great teams, the good teams in this league, that's what they do. They build chemistry in the offseason. They're working so that way during the season, we're not sitting there talking about a losing streak.
And listen, I hear you, but we can dissect this, and maybe that is a better answer to give. We can dissect this. But we can also deal in what we know DJ Moore has done over 2 years. Yeah. DJ Moore has organized those catching sessions with his receivers. He has. Would they all go down to Florida?
That I'm just talking about in terms of, I done got past the DJ question. I'm talking about in general, what they should be doing. Because this roster, right, regardless you bring a new GM in and a new coach, right, you're still going to have holes on this roster. You can't 100%. Fill it all in the offseason. So as a coaching staff, when I go back and the season's over and we go back and we're analyzing ourselves, right? Self-evaluation, self-scout, right?
Yeah.
So we're going through offensively. We're looking at our third down plays. We're looking at our goal line possessions. We're looking at all the cut-ups in red zone. How do we get better as an offense? We're looking at how we operated in critical situations or the lack thereof. How do we get better? But we're also looking at our players, right? Our roster of guys we know is going to be back. How do I make him a better player? How do I make him take the next step?
Yeah.
That's coaching. That's development. That's a huge part of it. And the teams that do that, those are the teams that we see at the top of this division right now. The stinky cheese up north, every time they get rid of somebody, we're like, man, well, why'd they let him go? Next guy comes in, makes a name for himself. Why? Because he's been being developed on that practice squad. After he got off the practice squad, he was on special teams, and when he got his opportunity to play offense or defense, he made the most of it. That's how you become consistently a good team year in and year out. It's all about the development.
That's the voice of Jason McKee. I'm Jeff Meller, along with Pat the Designer. We're taking your calls here till 7 o'clock here on the Post-postgame show on ESPN 1000.
The Chicago Bears Network pregame with Deion Miller, Mark Silverman, and now with Tom Waddle. 2 hours before every game on the new home of the Bears, ESPN Chicago.
Are you ready to make a difference for the environment while helping the visually impaired at the same time? Then donate your vehicle to Heritage for the Blind today by calling 1-800-983-6530. Every donated vehicle will either be properly recycled in an eco-friendly manner or given a new life through reuse. Donating your vehicle is easy. Simply call 1-800-983-6530 and Heritage for the Blind will do the rest. They'll even arrange for your vehicle to be picked up at no cost to you. And for a limited time, when you donate your car, you'll receive a $200 restaurant voucher and a 2-night, 3-day hotel stay at one of 50 locations. Call 1-800-983-6530 right now to schedule your vehicle donation and make a positive impact on the environment while helping others. Heritage for the Blind, where every car donation counts and every person makes a difference. Call 1-800-983-6530 now. This advertisement is paid for by Heritage for the Blind.
Every 40 seconds, a child is reported missing. That's 2,000 children every single day. It's a heart-wrenching reality that we can no longer ignore. Find the Children is a non-profit organization dedicated to helping find missing kids. You can be a part of their mission by donating your unwanted vehicle, running or not. Call 1-800-294-0222. We guarantee that you will receive the maximum tax deduction. We provide fast, free pickup with 24-hour response. Call 1-800-294-0222. Find the Children provides crucial resources to help find missing children and educational materials to teach kids how to recognize and avoid predators. Our recovery programs have a proven track record of reuniting kids with their families. It's time to act. Donate your unwanted or unused car. Help us build a world where every child is safe. Pick up the phone and call 1-800-294-0222. Together, we can bring these kids home safely. This advertisement was paid for in partnership with Cars R Us and Find the Children.
When your cat's a meme and your dog is too.
And it's hard to know what's fake or true.
Just raise a glass with a friend or two.
You tell them more, tell them more, tell them more, do.
Where the online trends keep getting worse.
And you lost your keys in the metaverse.
Now your right swipe just went left on you.
You tell them more, tell them more, tell them more, do. It's a crazy world, so what do? You tell them more, tell them more, tell them more.
That's the ease at which you get information. You want it, you get it. Like that. Ask your phone, group chat, smartphone. You're always connected and informed in real time. No waiting. So if you're diabetic and still using finger sticks to read your blood sugar, what are you waiting for? Knowing your blood sugar levels instantly is important for managing diabetes. Call US Med at 888-665-0696. To learn more about continuous glucose monitors, a real-time instant method to track your blood glucose, US Med is an approved provider for Medicare and over 1,000 private insurers. And the best part? Call 888-665-0696 and we'll give you a free insurance benefits check today. So call 888-665-0696 today. That's 888-665-0696 and manage your diabetes as easy as...
Want to buy a vehicle in 60 minutes or less? Purchase your next vehicle in 60 minutes or less at Advantage Chevrolet Bridgeview, or your first car payment is on them. And every new Chevy comes with the Advantage Plus program. Together, let's drive. Restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
With today's stress and uncertainty, drug and alcohol overdoses have drastically increased and taken too many lives. Don't risk losing someone you love. The problem may be worse than you think, and it won't get better unless you take action. You owe it to your family and you owe it to yourself to get the help needed today before it's too late. Call Gateway Foundation, 855-925-GATE now. Gateway is here to help you and those you care about. Call 855-925-GATE. You can make a difference.
Want to buy a vehicle in 60 minutes or less? Purchase your next vehicle in 60 minutes or less at Advantage Chevrolet Bridgeview, or your first car payment is on them. And every new Chevy comes with the Advantage Plus program. Together, let's drive. Restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
ESPN Chicago's Sports Business Minute, hosted by Danny Ecker from Crane Chicago Business, is heard Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and is presented by Chicagoland BMW Centers.
Hey, it's Jay Hood. Make Hollywood Casino Aurora your game day headquarters this season. Watch all the games on their giant screen TVs. Tackle the area's best game day food and beverages with all your friends. Get in on all the hockey and football action this winter with Penn Play and ESPN Bet. Hollywood Casino's online sportsbook is now live in Illinois. Score big this season at Hollywood Casino Aurora. However you want to play. Must be 21 years or older to gamble. If you're someone you know has got a gambling problem, crisis counseling referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER.
Post-game continues now on the new home of the Bears, ESPN Chicago. Here are your hosts, Jason McKee, Jeff Meller, and Pat the Designer.
Welcome back. Bears lose their 9th straight game ahead of a Thursday nighter where they will be the host to the Seattle Seahawks, but they lose today to the Detroit Lions. Lions win that one 34-17 today. Bears never lead in the game yet again, and the Detroit Lions are now 13-2 on the year, and the Bears fall to 4-11. They have struggled here of late. It has certainly been dismal, unfortunately, under Thomas Brown. The defense has gotten worse since Matt Eberflus has been shown the door, and it really has not been a good run over the last month, over the last 3.
You want to know how bad the defense has been?
Sure.
I got the numbers
Hit
for
me
you
up
right
with
here.
some numbers there, Pat.
This is per Courtney Cronin. Shout out Courtney Cronin, our favorite teammate here on the ESPN 1000. Since week 7, 32nd in total QBR. This is the defense allowed. 32nd in total QBR allowed.
That's 32 teams. 32 teams.
32nd in yards after the catch allowed per reception. 32nd in yards per completion allowed. 31st in QB time to throw from the pocket per pass. 31st in first downs allowed per pass attempt. 31st in yards per drive. 31st in drives that result in points. And 30th in pass rush win rate. Hey, boys, might need some help on defense.
What have we been good at? Any good in there?
I saw no good there.
Okay.
I saw no good there.
Man.
We have not been good.
And then they got to put highlights on.
We have been
TV
good
while
at
watching.
we have been good at our defensive
to throw salt in the wound, right?
The Jahmyr Gibbs
You're talking
stance.
about in there showing all the highlights from the game.
J-Mac, we have been good at our pregame outfits. Seen some phenomenal pregame outfits on the way into the
On
game.
points. Let's see if they can keep that rolling next year. Let's try Dave, who's in Wisconsin. Dave, what's going on?
Dave?
You're on the Post. Hey, Dave. Dave-O.
Dave!
What's going on, Dave?
How you doing?
What's happening, man?
What changes do you see happening? I mean, what do you think they're going to do during the off season? And do you think we'll see a different Bears team next year?
So different. How different would be the question. DJ Moore has been signed to a long-term extension.
Yeah.
I expect he'll be back. Keenan Allen is a free agent. I don't think he'll be back because you've got Rome Odunze and you have to fix your offensive line. Pat has mentioned it several times. We've talked about it a lot this year on the Post. At least it looks like at least 3, possibly 4 spots on your offensive line will need replacements. Darnell Wright, we all expect him to be back. I would anticipate.
Yes.
He's under contract. He'll be in his 3rd year of his rookie deal. Cole Kmet, he's signed up long-term. Caleb Williams, they just drafted him. He's not going anywhere. DeAndre Swift has been signed to a multi-year deal. I expect he will be back next year at the very least. So for the most part, the work will need to be done on the offensive line. And will you need to potentially, I don't know, Tyler Scott he can't even get active, for the most part. So if Keenan Allen's not going to be brought back, you're either going to need to draft a guy or sign a veteran at a discounted rate. Yeah. Because again, I can't see a scenario where Keenan Allen comes back where the Bears want to pay him what he probably can earn on the free agent market.
Yeah, no, that's the biggest problem with Keenan, right? Like when you look at the guys who make less than them, if you were going to say, maybe we can pay him a little bit less, we can come to a agreement with the deal. you still pick Keenan Allen above a lot of the names that make less than him. So he's not going to take less money. So your options are you pay him $20 million moving forward or more.
Yeah, and
or you let him walk and you get the comp pick based off of that or whatever he's going to sign for.
I think, too, when you look at it, too, Jeff went through all these position groups. I think you look at the tight end, too. You figure Mercedes Lewis won't be back. Gerald Everett's going to be a question mark. I don't think he'll be back.
I don't think
But
he'll be back.
I think, you need a tight end. I think you need 2 tight ends, right?
Yeah.
One that can really stretch the field. Not saying Cole can't. But I think you also need like an H-back tight end as well. If you're not going to have a fullback, you need an H-back tight end to where you can say, okay, especially late in the year, like right now where the weather's a factor, you need a guy that you can put back there or move around that can help you be effective in the run game.
Yep.
I mean, we only ran for how many yards? 59 total rushing yards today.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? Like
got 20 out of DeAndre Swift.
That's an extension of the offensive line, especially when you're running a lot of mixed direction plays, you're running a lot of counter and stuff like that. You need that H-back type of guy that can be effective in the run game, but also you may be able to run boots with and give him a pass out of the backfield to help you extend drives. So there's a lot of holes that obviously we talked about. There's a lot of things that's going to have to change if we want to have success in the future.
The biggest one is the culture setter. You got to get that right. If you want to talk about change coming, where's your culture setter? Who's your culture setter? Who's the coach that you're going to get that's going to actually change things in this room? Who's going to hold people accountable? Because I posted a clip on Twitter, and it's going somewhat viral, but it's hilarious because it's a Bears player who was on the team during Ricardo Preston, I think his name is. He was on the Bears during the practice squad. And he's talking about the culture of the team. And he's like, this team's a joke. And everybody just went, why is a practice squad player talking? What's happening? He breaks down how I dropped 4 passes and nobody said anything to me.
Oh,
and, there's a reason he's on practice squad, right? And my point in posting it was to say, we just fired a guy 10 years later for the same problem. We just fired an offensive coach 10 years later for the same problem. You have to get a guy who's going to create a culture that is a culture of, hey, you screw up, we fix it right then and there, not when you feel like us fixing it, not on Sunday. You drop the ball, you run a mile.
Yeah.
You drop a pass, you run a mile. You fumble my football, and I will break my foot off in your John Brown hind parts, and then you will run a mile.
Yeah.
Come on, Jeff. Name that movie. Come on, Jeff.
Give it to me. Give me.
The movie,
Jeff.
I don't want to give it away, man.
Oh,
give it to me again. Give it to me again.
You got to know the actor.
You drop a pass, you run a mile.
Yeah.
You drop the ball, you run a mile. You fumble my football.
That's
and I will break my foot off in your John Brown hind parts.
Yeah, that's isn't that Denzel from?
Yeah, there you go.
Come on.
I know it. It's
Think
just,
of
and then
Mike Vrabel.
You will run a mile. Perfection.
Vrabel, who he just coached for. Who Vrabel just coached for.
Vrabel's previous team. There it is. There we go,
Listen,
Jeff.
I got a lot of football stuff going on up here. No,
we got nervous.
I had a lot of football stuff going on.
It's gotten so bad, we got to do movie trivia.
I wasn't
on the
doing you
post-game.
justice. I was doing the old radio trick where I was pretending like I was listening the first time, Pat, but I was actually answering some
That's how they
text.
get through the show with Pat.
So that's why I was not there for you when you were testing me. So my apologies, my friend. Let's go now to Steven, who's in Detroit. Been very patient. Steve-O, what's up, man?
What's happening,
Thanks.
man?
Yeah, you guys talked about, Trestman a decade later, and, I never thought that this team would be even come close to being this bad, but now, 10 years later, it's the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
If we're still talking about the job security of Ryan Poles at this point in time of the season, I'm sorry, there's no way you're going to convince anyone at this point that Ryan Poles deserve to be brought back because, again, you look at today, the offensive line was just atrocious with, penalties that stole the drive. And the biggest gamble in all of this is naming Thomas Brown the interim head coach, hoping something would happen. But, you're 0-3 now under him, and all the games under his tenure, it's been a blowout.
Yeah.
And then the roster just continues to show regression on both sides of the ball, and all the negatives are starting to outweigh, any positive that he has done in his tenure. So, if you're going to hire a new head coach, you have to start thinking about hiring a new general manager to align that. And I hope that Kevin Warren, even with all the negatives that he gets, locally and nationally for various reasons, including, unfortunately, some of it is racial motivated. I hope Warren does his thing, because he's got an executive experience in both college and the NFL, and I hope he does do make sure that the stench is cleaned up, and just take the initiative and get the guy, Ben Johnson or whoever it is, and pay the most money that is necessary, because at least at that point, that's all they can sell other than Caleb Williams, in my opinion, guys.
Well, Steven, and listen, we've heard the rumblings. It sounds like money is not going to be an issue.
Yeah.
At least that's what they've intimated around league circles.
For the entire staff, not just for your head coach.
Yes. So
going down to your assistant.
That is good news. I know that the Bears really haven't
My
spared
resume together.
The Bears have not spared much expense. Listen, I would happily take a J-Mac on the sidelines, not doing games, but calling plays. That would tickle my fancy. I'd be all in favor of that.
Running back coach. No disrespect, Coach Morton. I love you, but hey, man,
I think you got some head coach material in you, though.
Yes, but nevertheless, so the Bears have made it known that they will not spare any expense, and really, if you look around what they've been doing, building up their staff around Kevin Warren as well, I don't think they have really been shy about spending money. So I think they're trying to do things the right way, and that's why I get back to, if Ben Johnson or Mike Vrabel or whoever they identify as the guy they think to be the one who can lead them out of this bad spot, if they think they need a different GM to be their co-pilot, then you got to say, sorry, Ryan, we're happy you were able to land us Caleb Williams, but we're going to have to move off of you, because the reality is that's the most important hire. The most important thing in the offseason for the Bears is to get the head coaching hire right. Yeah. And if that person wants a new GM to be the person who picks out the groceries for him, then that has to be it. You can't allow unfortunately for Ryan Poles, it has not gone well enough for him to be in a position where he gets to dictate the terms.
Yeah, I mean, like you're saying, Jeff, if it hasn't been working and you haven't completely started over, you're somewhat starting over. Let's keep the GM, fire the head coach. We've seen that story. Yeah. You're going to rebuild and start over. You got to do the whole thing. You know what I mean? You can't Pat, you know this. You remodel a bathroom, right? You can't just, I'm going to remodel. I want a whole new makeover of the bathroom. Let me keep the old tile, but let me fix the shower.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
You're just delaying the inevitable.
The tile is still ugly.
Because
you still got to fix the tile.
You got to fix the tile.
Next year, you're going to be looking at that tile going, I got to replace it.
I should have replaced it.
And that's what you didn't do this year with the head coach?
Yeah.
It's what you didn't do this year with the head coach.
No doubt.
You were scared to move on. You were scared to not have stability. And now everybody's looking at you for your job.
It's not working. We can go back, and I guarantee you, we can go back and look at one of the dates around this day of our post-game show, and we're talking about the same thing.
Absolutely.
Guaranteed.
Yeah.
By the way, Jason McKee, Pat the designer, Caleb Williams now has 3,269 passing yards on the season. If he averages 285 yards passing over the final two games, he will set a single-season record for passing yards for the Bears franchise in his rookie year. Now, listen, it's a lofty number, but it is within reach, which is kind of crazy considering the way this season has gone down. All right, guys, 30 seconds. Any final thoughts?
I'm excited about Caleb Williams. Love the stat that you just gave, because when you look at the list of quarterbacks who have been sacked almost or more than he has, the interception numbers are a heck of a lot higher.
With how many games left? Two
games left.
I got 1 foot on the field and 1 foot on vacation.
Oh, you got a sandal on your foot already.
Yes, I do.
All right, thank you to Kendra Smith and Jack McGrath for producing this evening. Thanks to J-Mac. Thanks to Pat the designer. I'm Jeff Meller. Talk to you tomorrow, folks, right here on ESPN 1000.
The Bears.
Bear down.
FX's Say Nothing.
We thought joining the IRA was the noblest thing a person could do.
Northern Ireland, 1971.
They could beat us, they could shoot us, but the one thing they could never get us to do was talk.
Based on the true story and the New York Times bestseller.
You were taught that you were fighting in the name of the people. And I think people should know that it's all lies.
FX's Say Nothing. All episodes now streaming on Hulu.
Don't let cold season make you miserable. Try the quick drug-free solution for nasal congestion, Navage. Navage uses gentle suction to flush out your sinuses with refreshing saline, helping you breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier all winter long. And here's even better news. Navage is now available at select warehouse clubs in a great new value pack. It's everything you need to start breathing better fast. Check out Navage at your local retailer today. Navage.